once again now for your time. I do hope, hold on. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so yesterday where we stopped was we wrote out some questions for analysis based on our conversation yesterday. We created our measures table, and we wrote out some questions for analysis. So what we then concluded was that because the idea behind whenever you want to start your, we can all see my screen clearly, right? Hello, can we all see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, okay, okay. So we mentioned that now we've created our measures table, and now we want to begin to create our measures. So one of the things that we did was that we 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 created two calculated columns yesterday. We created a calculated column for total sales and a calculated column for total cost of goods sold, right? Because we understood that based on what we saw, we knew that okay, fine, we don't have a column for total sales and total, so we shall call this total sales, not total revenue actually. So we didn't have a column for total sales and we didn't have a column for total cost of goods sold. Those were in a separate table. So what we did is we created a calculated column that pulled the information from the total sales and total cost of goods sold into and multiplied it by the quantity. So now, what is the next stage? The next stage, you want to now begin to create our measures one step at a time. Remember, anytime you start creating your dashboard, you need to have some measures that will be able to answer your question. Looking at this question that we have here, we can see that some things are sticking out across board, right? Some things like revenue is sticking out, cost of goods sold is something you would like to know. Things like profit is something you will need to have as a measure. A measure is simply a way of, of getting your, you write DAX measures to get a, you can write DAX queries to get a measure, and a measure is just a summary of your data in a particular way or format. That's just simply a measure, right? So I'm going to be writing some measures to calculate things like total revenue, things like total profit, things like some key things that we need to know so that we can start our dashboard and build our dashboard appropriately. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to come over to this measures table that we created here. You know, where I said it's always good to create a table for your measures. So come to this measures table that I created here, right? Then you click on these three. Like I said, they always, Power BI is very interesting. It has two ways to do almost everything. Many of the things you can do, you can do them through almost two or three ways. So either you click on these three horizontal dots here, or you come over to, okay, so once you click on the table like this, you come over to table tools and then click on new measure. So whichever one you choose to do, right? So for example, I came here and I click on new measure. So once I come to this, I click on new measure. So for example, the first measure I want to calculate, what I want to calculate first is total revenue. Total revenue. So what I'm going to do is, remember there is a particular column called total sales, right? No, total sales. And it is expected that that column that is total sales, the sum of everything on that table is called, sum of every value in that particular column is actually your total revenue. So I'm going to do total revenue. Is my screen clear enough? Is it, or do you want me to zoom in?
Please, you can zoom in a bit.
Okay, let me just confirm that this thing is recording so that we're not going to, yeah, and I know. Okay, it's
Now, please, where did we get measures from? Hey, Jesus.
okay, so just give me a second, please. I'm going to stop sharing and present some stop presenting. I'm going to stop presenting and I'm going to present again. Just give me a second. Hold on, please, and I am marvelous. Give me a moment. Okay, let me share again. And then we come back here. So let me do this. So I'm going to take it to 16900. Let's do this. No, this is not good. But let's do 16 by 900. I think this is better. Okay, so where did you get measures from? Like I said, so hold on. Once you click on these measure sales records, right, you will
No, so
see.
I'm saying, where did the measures come from? How did you create the measures sales record?
No, we created it yesterday.
Okay, it should be when I was having little issues.
We created it yesterday. I think I dropped it in the chat. We created it yesterday, right?
Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, you watched the video part where we created measures, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so maybe did you get to that point in the video? Marvelous.
Yes, but I didn't see. I'm seeing measures, but I don't know where it came from.
Okay, okay, so I would drop the code for you to create it. So Marvelous, what we can do is, hi Fermi, are you there?
So I know what we used to create it, but I'm saying, how did we get it to
Okay,
the right hand side? Did we right click to that?
okay, so what we did was we came to this point. We came to home. Just give me a minute, please. We came to home, we went over to modeling, and we clicked on new table. Then in new table, we type measures. Where is that stuff here? So what will happen is, so there might be, so after this one, I'll try to respond to as many questions, but if I take all of the questions, I will not be able to finish, because this is not exactly a basic class per se. I mean, there's supposed to be like a little bit of an understanding of Power BI so that we are able to move swiftly. So what will happen is, if there's anyone on the group chat that has a bit of a help, anytime you have any issue, just drop it on the group chat. Anyone can just respond. And if there's a free time for me to, I can just respond so that we can move quickly. So, but I'm going to show you how to create the measures, right? But just in the benefit of everybody in the class, but if we continue at this stage, in all honesty, we have a lot and we are not even getting to 30%. So I'll show you how to create the measures. But if you have any challenges midway, just send a message on the group chat. If there's anyone who is a bit more familiar with Power BI, please let's help each other. You can just respond, drop a link, drop a chat, respond on it. Let's make the charts a bit more interactive so that while I'm trying to meet up with us creating a dashboard for this weekend, someone is also helping with the basic parts that maybe Marvelous might not be able to cope with. I hope that's fine by us all.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's fine. So, but for table, you can just come to this place and click on new table. And what we did yesterday is we did measures, type measures here, underscore sales, underscore records. Then I put equal to, then we did curly brackets open, column, apostrophe twice, then curly brackets closed, right? And then we clicked on OK, and that's how we created our table. You understand? So let me just paste them. I'll just paste that particular part in the group chat. So can we have this document? You mean which document are you referring to, Lolade? Do you mean the
Yes,
slide?
the one. No, not the slide. This one that you have that is showing on the screen, where you have the business questions.
Yeah, okay, sure. I even have, okay, I think I uploaded this thing. Okay, I uploaded the PBIX already, but I think I've not uploaded this particular one. But let me, okay, I'll share everything. I'll share all of the, so I'll update it on that drive I placed for us. Is that fine?
Okay. Yes, that's fine.
I
Thank
think
you.
the PBIX is there, but I'll update it in that PBIX so that you have everything so you can use it going forward.
All right.
So we are moving. Yeah, so hi Marvelous, did you get that?
Yes, sir, I've gotten it. So I only have
Okay,
value in it,
okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. So
sir.
yeah, so we want to create our measure. So we're going to be creating first total revenue, right? Total revenue. equals, so you're going to be putting the sum of your, so when you are creating total revenue, we're trying to sum our the sales column. We're trying to sum the sales column. That's what we're trying to do. So we're just going to do sum, then you're going to press apostrophe, then you're going to type to sales record. By the time you type sales record, you can see all of the, okay, you can see all of the columns under sales records. All we need to do is we can locate total sales here, which is total sales, then press tab. You can press your tab key. Once you press your tab key, automatically it populates, fully populates, and you press your second bracket, and that's for total revenue. So that's for total revenue. Then you press enter. So once you've done that, you have your total revenue. You can use it anywhere in the code. The same thing, the same way you've done that, you're also going to do the same thing for total costs. So you're going to get total costs, total costs equals, the same way you are going to sum the column for total cost of goods sold. Do sales, just type sales, locate that particular sales records. You can see the table, and then you can also see the column that we are choosing, right? So you go ahead and click on tab and close the bracket, then enter. Now, once you do that, then the next thing you're now going to do, the next thing you're going to do is you're now going to identify that, okay, the next thing is total profit, which is the next natural thing to check for, right? Hope we are following. We are getting it right? Am I moving too fast? We can drop messages on the chat to show that we are.
Excuse.
Okay, please go ahead. Yeah.
The measures that you use, can you please like write it in the chat box like you did for the other one?
When you say write it in a better words.
Write
Okay,
it
in the
in the
chat.
chat box like you did
Oh,
for the first one.
okay. So you do copy and paste, Abby?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that I can type it. In fact, that the PBX file I uploaded actually has it, but it's always cool to type it so that you can have
Okay.
a feel of how it works. Because I might have saved it differently from you, then also it's always cool to type it. So that's it. So
Okay.
you understand? Then you might save the column name differently from the way I did, so that we don't have common.
Mm.
So you can just, once you put that, you've done the second one, just put done, just sum, just a typical sum that you do for your, just like you do your sum for in Excel. That's the same way this sum works as well. So have we done this? Has anyone done it? Have we done it? Okay, done. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so once we've done that, those are simple ones. The next thing we want to move on to is, have you done, who spoke just now? Was that Sadika?
Yes.
Okay, have you done it now?
No, I'm not actually. I've not.
Okay, you're okay. Say you join with your phone, not like you're actually doing
Yes,
it.
I'm not working on it right now, but I'm
Oh,
learning. I want to
oh,
do it later on.
okay, that's fine. So the PBIX file I uploaded on the chat on the dashboard drive I sent has everything. So you can, whenever you want to learn, you can just open that PBIX file. You've been checking it one after the other, then be doing it. If you need something of that nature, you get.
Okay.
Let's just continue then. So that means, so the next thing is total profit. That is total profit is going to be your total revenue minus your total costs. And that's how we're going to know our profit. We want to know our total profit for the sales record, and you do enter. You can just put total profit and you put enter. So once you've done that, once you've been able to get your total profit, total revenue minus total cost, then sorry, you go ahead and say, okay, fine, profit margin, profit margin, profit margin. And your profit margin is simply your total profits over what? Your total revenue. So who else is building along aside from Lolade and Lolade? Who else is building along? You can just put who else again aside from, I think I know. Okay. Okay, just okay, that's fine. Okay, so well, let's just continue then. Okay, I'm lost. I stopped. Okay. Okay, no problem. We can always, like I said, we can always take it and let's watch and probably just watch the recordings and all for the sake of so this is profit margin, right? We have profit margin now. We know to get it sorted now. So you can just drop on the group chat where you stopped. So maybe if there's anyone, if I can be looking at it and I can also help where I've done something for long and I need to get. So just drop, this is where you stop. So if there's anyone who can help out, and then I can also pop in here and there so you can also join along. Yeah. So we've done profit margin. So Lola, have you done profit margin?
Yes, I have.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So I will paste what I'll do is I'll just paste these ones on the group chat so you can just pick them up. Or for okay, let's just continue. So once you've done profit margin, then the next thing you're going to be doing is sales efficiency. So the idea of sales efficiency is very simple. We want to know what is our revenue to cost ratio. So what that means is that when we've taken out 100% of our cost from the revenue, how much is left? So that's the way of knowing sales efficiency. How well are we doing based on our revenue after taking out our costs? And sales efficiency equals total revenue divided by total costs. Total revenue divided by total costs. That's sales efficiency. Total revenue divided by total costs. So total revenue divided by total costs. So once you've done that, then the next thing you're going to be looking at, so largely, once you've done this, you have a, let me use the word fair. We've done these are the basic information you need for your sales records. For your sales records, right? For the sales record, you need your profit margin, you need your sales efficiency, you need your total costs, you need your total profits, and you need your total revenue, right? Now, these are the 5 major things at least that you need. Based on all of these other things, you can then begin to plot them against each of these things. But at least for now, we have these are the key areas. Now, remember what we said earlier that we also want to do some bit of analysis, the what if parameters and all of the likes. I want to be able to say, okay, I am building a dashboard and I want the dashboard to be interactive. I want the dashboard to be built in such a way that it will both present the what's the name? It's going to go both present 2 things. It will present the sales that have happened in times past in terms of the records. And any stakeholder can come into the dashboard, like we said earlier, adjust the price, and then that person will be able to get instant results. And now we're going to be building a set of measures that will be able to get us to that. Remember, this document was our guide. We're going to be building a set of measures and what if parameters based on what is in this document. You remember clearly, I said the ones in yellow are the ones we are building what if parameters for, and the ones in blue are the ones we are building measures for. So I'm going to be building what if parameters for these 3. This what if parameter is what you are going to use to be able to say, okay, fine, let me interact with my dashboard. So the first thing you're going to be doing is we're going to be creating the what if parameters first. And how are we going to do that? I'm going to create another table for measures for sales analysis. I'm going to create another table for that so that I will be able to put all my measures. It's always good to organize your measures properly. It's always very good. So what you can do is very simple. Come over to table tools. table tools. Once you come over to table tools, yeah, come to new measure, right? So come to new measure. No, sorry, not new measure. My bad, please. Hold on. Okay, come over to table tools. Come on to new table. Once we come to new table, the same thing you did earlier is what you're going to do. Measures underscore sales underscore analysis. Hold on. Let's do it again. Sorry. Measures underscore sales underscore analysis equals this. Put this. You put your curly bracket. You put your apostrophe twice, and you put your second curly bracket, and you close. Right. So please, just to ask, hi Marvelous, have you used Power BI before? I just want to confirm. Hello, are you there? Hello, is she there? Okay, maybe she's not there again. Okay, so okay, yeah, this okay, you are still okay, that's fine. Maybe after this class, I could share a couple of links for brushing up on that. Then at least we'll be able to pick up so that by the time now next time we're going to be having this type of webinar, you can easily catch up with having to build things along, right? Because I know it's not very easy having to grab with a lot of things. It's always like that. A new software, you're just trying to understand what's going on, and the person is moving on with speed. I understand, but hopefully after this class we can have a catch up. Then I can guide you on some other things you can do to catch up. Yeah, thank you for your understanding. So measures, we've created a measures for sales analysis. Now we're going to now be creating different measures for each of them. The first measure we're going to be creating is what we call selected cost of goods sold. It's called selected cost of goods sold. That's the very first what's the name? That's the very first measure we're going to be creating. And that selected cost of goods sold is we are trying to create a particular measure that will be able to help us choose, because now when we go over to the sales analysis and we start doing our sales analysis, there are some key things we need to take note of. And one of the very first things we need to take note of is that we need to understand that we want to do our analysis by product. Because when you're an FMCG, you don't just want to do a broad analysis. Oh, how many products are we going to sell to get this? How many products are we going to sell to get this? We want to be able to say, okay, on this product, how well are we doing? Or what exactly is it? On this product, how well are we doing? Or what exactly is moving? Right? So once you understand that simple analogy and say, okay, fine, based on 1, 2, 3 measures, we want to be able to say, I will click on nuts. I'm going to put in the price for nuts, put in the price for, and put in number of goods sold for nuts or for chips. And I'm going to be able to see the revenue I'm going to get on only chips. I will click again for what? Crackers. I'm going to do the same thing. I want to be able to see the exact cost of goods sold and the exact revenue and all of the parameters for only chips and crackers. And when I do general too, I'm going to do the same thing. And for us to achieve that type of thing, we need to be able to use, there's a particular, we have to create 3 different measures. One is going to be called selected cost of goods sold. The second one is called selected pricing factor. And third one is called selected unit price. Now, I'm going to explain before we start creating it. The reason for creating it, let me show you. I'm going to show you exactly how the dashboard, because I know someone I've not seen dashboard. So I'm going to show us exactly how the dashboard looks like so that when you see it, you'll be able to, you'll be able to understand what exactly we are saying. Just give me a moment, please. I don't have the I have it on my Power BI service. But while I wait for it to come up, we are going to be creating measure. The first measure we're going to be creating for now is selected cost of goods sold. Now, what that selected cost of goods sold is, what we're trying to do here is we are trying to create. Sorry, please. Let me drag this one away from here. What we're trying to do is we're trying to create a measure such that anytime you select a particular, because it's connected, right? It's connected. Anytime you select any of the products, either it is nuts, chips, or crackers, you will be able to get the accurate KPIs for all of them across board: total revenue, total profit, total cost, efficiency, and all of the likes. But anytime you do not select any of them and you just select the main one, you are only going to be able to see the value for the total. You are only going to see the value for the, let me come again for our understanding. I'm doing an analysis and I'm saying, okay, when I select, I want to do an analysis for nuts. I want to analyze for nuts and I click on nuts, right? Once I click on nuts, I am going to see the values for nuts. I'm going to see the total revenue for nuts. I will see the total profit for nuts. I'm going to see the total cost for nuts and all of those things. But if I uncheck nuts and I uncheck crackers, I uncheck chips, I will see the total sum of everything. So it's going to be dynamic in nature, right? And for that, for us to get it dynamic in nature, we're going to be creating some set of measures in a way that we're going to make it dynamic in nature. So the first measure we're going to be creating is going to be selected cost of goods sold. We know that cost of goods sold is very important when you are trying to do your calculation. So we're going to do selected cost of goods sold. Now, I forgot to mention this total cost that we've created here. This total cost that we've created, I forgot to mention. So this is supposed to be sum of total costs. So if you remember, my apologies on that, I just forgot to mention. If you remember what I mentioned earlier in the course of in yesterday's meeting, I mentioned that there are two costs in this place. There is the cost of what? The goods sold, which is what you have here, which will likely be the cost of the what's the name? The cost of the materials or the cost of the raw materials. That's the first one. Then there is also the total fixed cost, which is what we have here as, okay, I think I opened the wrong one, which is the total fixed cost, which is what we have here. So remember I mentioned it yesterday that there is the normal cost, which is the cost of the raw material that was used to produce that particular product, which is what we can see under sales records here and under total cost of goods sold. Then there is now what we call the total fixed cost. That is the cost of things like renting machineries, renting the building that was used, where the production was done. So anytime you are calculating your costs, you must calculate, when you're calculating your total cost, you must factor in the fixed cost and the variable cost. The fixed cost now being the cost of, the fixed cost in terms of, it could be cost of the assets that were used, could be machineries, cost, those things are bought at once, they are fixed. And added with the cost of the raw materials. So I mentioned earlier that I think I forgot to add it. So come back to this total cost, where you see this sum plus, so this is total cost. We already have total cost here, which is, let us say, okay, total cost of goods sold. You can call this one total cost of goods sold, right? Then you will then create another one and call it total cost. Now that total cost is going to be taken into cognizance two things. You're going to say total cost equals total cost of goods sold plus, you put sum, close the bracket, you press this. Remember that total cost of goods sold is under sales analysis, where we had fixed costs. That's total fixed cost per carton. That's where we kept it. And then you press your tab and then you close your bracket. So what it has done is that it took the total cost of goods sold based on the raw material that we've calculated before, and now went to the second column, the second table where we had the total cost, the total fixed cost, and we then sum it together. By the time you sum it together, you will see something like, for example, we were to test, just to show you some bit of context. So if I bring this particular card, this KPI value here, once I come over to this place, you will see that if I drop, this is total cost of goods sold in terms of raw material, I place it here, right? If I do copy and paste, and I say this one is total what? The total cost, and I place it here, you can see that there's an additional 15 Okay, this should be in dollars actually. There's an additional $15,000 in this case, in addition to the total cost of goods sold. So we are taking it that this first total cost of goods sold is speaking to the cost of the raw materials, what was spent in producing it in terms of the cost, while this one is speaking to the entire cost as a whole. That means in terms of both the fixed cost, the cost of machinery, and also the cost of the goods sold. Do we get that? Do you get that explanation? Hope we got that.
No, I didn't. You were pretty too fast. Sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. That's not a problem. I'm going to take it back again. So now, let me come again. I said earlier, there are two costs now. The first cost is the cost of raw material. So for example, say one of us has a business, right? And that business, you are trying to create, let me use the word, let me just say attachment. You create or you produce attachment. You bought a building. Now, when fixed cost is speaking to the rent for that building, fixed cost is speaking to the machineries you used to build, the machinery that was used to produce. Fixed cost is speaking to everything that is fixed. It's not something that you have to begin to, it's not a running cost. So let's assume fixed cost is like rent. You pay rent yearly, that one is fixed. Either you produce only one goods or you produce 2,000 of those products, you will still pay that rent of that particular rent is fixed, right? Then there is also what we call the cost of the raw material that was used to produce that particular product. So we are saying that the total cost of goods sold is speaking to the raw material, the cost of the raw material that was used to produce that particular good, while the total cost is speaking to the addition of the total cost of goods sold, which is speaking to the cost of the raw materials, plus the fixed cost, which is speaking to things like rent and any other thing that was used in any other thing that was, which is speaking to things like rent rather, because that is like the total, that's like, say, in terms of in context, that's like the fixed cost, and you will now get the total cost that was spent in general. Do you get that now?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's plenty. So now, once we understand that simple concept, you can see there's a difference of $15,000 between both of them. There's 15,000 between total cost of goods sold and this. Now, once we understand that simple concept, we can now come over to this point where we have our measures of sales analysis, where we're going to begin to create our interesting analysis. And the very first thing we're going to do, we're going to be creating what is called total cost of, we're going to be creating selected unit costs. Just give me a moment, please. So we're going to be creating selected cost of goods sold. Selected cost of goods sold. Now, I was saying I was going to show us something earlier, so we would appreciate what I'm talking about. Let me just open this. Give me a moment, please. I want to show us exactly what we're saying so that when you see the final output, you'll be able to know, okay, this is exactly what we're looking at. I'm going to publish this in a moment. So that we'll be doing a back and forth. So if you can see the end from the beginning and know, okay, fine, this is exactly where we're looking forward to and all. Okay, so let's say one will come over to, so this is exactly sales analysis. Now, if you look at this very carefully, you see that there's a total annual cost on this side. Can we say total annual cost here? And there's a total annual profit here. Everything that is here, if I want to do a selection and I come to this place and I select not, everything changes, right? Now, this is now my current total annual cost. I can come over to this place and change the product size, and that product size can directly affect only nuts. And when I click on 6, you can see that it has changed automatically. The same way, if I come over to this place again and I uncheck this box and I click on crackers, it's going to give me the representative of crackers. So what we're going to do is we're going to first create a measure for the selected cost of what? The selected cost of goods sold, so that anytime I select maybe a product price, I select maybe nuts on crackers, it's going to give me that particular value. Anytime I unselect every of them, it will give us the total at the top. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on new measure. So we're going to create quite a number of measures now. So let's brace up. Costs of goods sold equals. So there's a term we're going to be using what we call coalesce. So what coalesce does is that it returns the first argument that is not it. What it just ensures in essence, it ensures that look, anytime you are just selecting something, you don't have a blank value. That's just the idea of coalesce. You don't have a blank value. So what it means that if it checks student, you will give it two conditions. That okay, when you are doing your selection, oh, if you see that in this entire column or in this entire measure there is no value, come and use what is here. That's just the idea of coalesce. So when you do coalesce, you open the brackets, you type selected value. So once you type selected value, you are going to then put your, that's one apostrophe, then type product details, then highlight the product details for products cost price. Products cost price. Then you close your brackets. Then press your comma again. So now you are telling it that okay, look, anytime you want to select, ensure that okay, anytime a value is selected for product ID, come and pick the product cost price. That means pick the product cost price that speaks to what is selected anytime product name is selected. You get. So you come over to this place, then you are now saying if you find out that there is nothing here and you find out that okay, you do selected value and you have picked a product cost price based on the product name that was selected, but you are finding out okay, fine, there is nothing here, this place is blank, you go ahead and come and what, default and pick the sum. So what this is saying is that if you go to the slicer, pick a selected value, come and look for that part, pick a selected value for a product name, come and look for the product cost price and select it wherever this place is used. But if you see that no, that's what this coalesce is saying. No, if you see that this selected value, nothing was selected for that product name, coalesce will now say, okay, move over from this point and come and choose the sum. You do product details, then you do sum of what cost price, then you close the bracket. Then you close the bracket again. Sorry. Did you get this? Or you want me to explain again? Hello, can you hear me? Yes, I'm
Yes,
still explaining.
please.
I should explain again. Do you want me to explain again? You get it?
You can come again, please.
Okay, that's fine. Now, if you look at this, what I did here, I'm trying to use the explain what I did here. When I unchecked this box, everything was giving me accurate values, right? I was getting what I should get. But when I check a box, it's going to give me what is actually in that particular box. Do you understand? So it's going to come over to this place and say, okay, it's going to do the calculation. Let's change this one to 1. Once I check and I select nuts, it's going to give me the price for nuts. That is the price for nuts. And also going to calculate the revenue, the total cost, the profit, and all of the likes. But once I uncheck it, it's going to give me, you can see this adjusted price now, it has changed to total. Can you see it has changed to 5.7K? But if I choose crackers, it's going to put the adjusted price for crackers and it's going to do the calculation for crackers for me. All of what you see here is going to do the calculation. But if I uncheck the box, it is going to simply what? Default to the sum of everything. Do you get that part?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why we have to create this type of measure so that we'll be able to get that. And that's why we say coalesce the selected value of product details cost price. So we are saying anytime product details, anytime a value is selected that links to the product details cost price, that should be what should first be returned for selected cost of goods sold. But if no value is selected for the product details cost price, which can always be selected by choosing the product name, default and return only the sum of all of the products cost price. And that's why you can see here that once I check this box, you can see that I'm getting this 1.9k, that's $1,900. But once I uncheck this box, it's giving me my total here. So what is making that happen is this measure.
Okay, so sorry, if you now select any of the products, either nuts, or crackers or chips, it will give us the product cost price.
Yes, it will give us the product. It will help. Yes, it will give us the product cost price. But
Okay.
and because we want to use it in other calculations, that's why we're actually doing it that way, because we want to use the selected that cost of goods sold in other calculations. So it will give us that one, and it will be able to everywhere we are using it as in the calculation, it's going to go there and affect those changes as well, so that we can be getting the unique values for that particular product. Do you understand that now?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay. Are we still following? I know we are more than. Are we still following Sadika, Marvelous? At least, even if we can just be following mentally with what we are seeing, understanding the concept. All you just need to do is understand the concept. Then you can then join in, and then by the time you are building, it's going to be very easy for you to build. The concept is the most important thing. Hi, Marvelous. Hi, Helen. Are you still there?
Yes, sir, we're here. So I hope you're still recording.
Yeah, sure, definitely I am.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So just understand the concept. Once you understand the concept, right, it will be easier for you to flow by the time you are watching it, because domain understanding is very critical. So once we are done doing selected cost of goods, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do what we call selected pricing factor. Now, selected pricing factor is saying that, remember I said earlier that we want to create a what if parameter that will be able to. So we're going to be creating selected pricing factor, and then we're going to be creating selected unit price. But firstly, I'm going to be creating selected unit price. Then we'll create something, then come back to selected pricing factor. So what we're going to do is the same way we created this one. Let's press enter. We're going to be creating a DAX measure for selected unit price. That means whenever you select a particular product name, it will help you to be able to select, it will help you to reflect that particular price when you are selecting. So let me just click on new measure, selected unit price equals, you do the same qualis, then you return the first argument for selected unit price for product details. Sorry, selected value, sorry. Do selected value first. Then you do product details. Then you come over and choose the units, that's the unit price in terms of the selling price now, right? Now, once you do that, then you're now going to go ahead and say close the brackets, then you put a comma again, then you put the sum of what? The sum of that particular product details, the selling price, then you close the brackets. Now, just like the first one, we want to use these things later on in the, and as we go on, you will understand. We want to use them later because the end goal is to be able to say, the end goal of most of these things, especially for this one, is to be able to say that, okay, I want to adjust my price for nuts, only nuts. I don't want to adjust my price for everything. If I click on nuts and I select nut under the slicer, I will then go to where I can put in my pricing factor and say, okay, I want to adjust the price of nuts by 10%. I'll put in my 10%. Only the price of nuts will change and I will see my values. So that's why we need to be able to put the unit price in a measure, hold it in a measure, so that anytime you select the field that slicer that chooses nuts, it will be able to automatically go and connect your calculations and help you to reflect it appropriately. So this is selected unit price. That means anytime the unit price is selected, do one or two things. So that's selected unit price. So have we gotten this down now?
Mine is giving me an error.
Okay, what's the error message?
Too few arguments were passed to the qualis function.
Okay, so when you put qualis, you put
Yes,
selected value, right?
yes,
Then you put product details.
yes, of product selling price.
Yes, then you put comma, you close the bracket and put comma.
Oh, okay, okay, I've seen the mistake. I didn't close the brackets.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So then, so it's fine now, right?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay, great. So now, before we go ahead and create the third one, we are going to be creating the what if parameters. Now, like I said, what if parameters are simply for you to be able to remember what we said earlier. These are the what if parameters that you have at the top here. This one that you have at the top here, you can type in your value and it will automatically reflect. So what we're going to do, we're going to be creating a what if parameter, and all you need to do is come over to home, move to modeling. Once you come to modeling, then click on new parameter, then click on numeric range. Now, once you click on numeric range, you will see it has two values, but we are using numeric range. This parameter value here, type in, so we are creating three parameters and three what if parameters. The first what if parameter we are creating is pricing factor. The second one is so the first one we're going to create is pricing factor. That's what, remember I said earlier, pricing factor is okay, I want to increase my price by 10%. I want to increase my price by 20%. I want to increase my price by 30%, and it automatically reflects in the price. Now, the data type, we are making it a decimal number. The minimum is 0. Increment, we want the increment to be by 0.1, and the maximum is 20. So that means we are saying you should not be able to increase your price beyond 20. If I'm going to use the word, yeah, 20 times the normal way it was. So if you say 1%, if you put 1 there, that is talking about 100%, right? So that's just the way it is. So that's just pricing factor. Then click on remove this. You can leave this add slicer to this page. Then click on create. So once you click on create, you can see 0.1. The increment is on 0.1. Once you click on create, what happens is just simple. You can see that it provides a box here and a slider where you can put in your values and then slide. But we want to remove the slider, so we just come here and remove the slider and leave just that, but that creates bar here, right? So now, once we've done this one, we want to create another what if parameter. Did you get this, Lolade?
Yes, but up to the point whereby you remove the slide.
Yeah, that's where I stopped. Okay, that's where I stopped.
Okay.
That's great. That's where I stopped. So you're also going to come again and what create another one, and that's create another what if parameter in this regard. Then click on numeric range, same way you did the first one, but this time we are creating one for the number of products sold. Remember, you want to be able to vary your price, vary your number of products sold, and see how much you make based on the new price and the new number of products sold. And so at least you can be able to gain how much revenue you are going to get over the period of time. So leave this one as old number because it's number of products sold. Leave this one minimum as 0. You can call this one 200,000. We're assuming that the person wants to, have a cap of 200,000 or 20. You can do 20,000. So let's just 200,000. So if you want to put like you're believing, okay, I can sell up to 200,000, you put it there, then create. So it shows that okay, number of products. Then you can remove the slider as well. So once you've done this, the third one you're going to be doing for now is then what's the name? You'll be creating for that's the sales cycle. Now this sales cycle we're using for the sales cycle we're working with is months. So you come over to this point, click on new parameter, numeric range. You come over to this page, sales cycle, whole number. This is 0, increment by 1. You can call this one 12. and click on create and click OK. So are you here now?
Just a minute.
Okay, no problem.
Please, you can move on. It's hanging. I don't know.
Okay, your
Probably, yes.
okay, your Power BI. Power BI can be quite important, especially can be very okay, no problem. So once you've created the number of products, okay, I don't know why I didn't create here. So once you've created the number of products sold, let me add, I think let me put it on that view. Okay, so once you've created the number of products sold, you've created your pricing factor and your sales cycle, right? Once you see you've created three of them, then the next thing you're now going to do is you're now going to create. Now, it is that selected pricing factor. You're going to create selected pricing factor. That means it is a measure that will help you to be able to say, oh, remember what I said, anything that has to be selected. The idea of selected is just simple. That we want to be able to connect that when we do it, we want to be able to do analysis per product. That's the only reason for selected. We want to be able to do analysis per product so that when I select any product, I'll be able to see the instant result for that product. So all we need to do is come over to this point again, click on new measure. Once click on new measure, do selected pricing factor equals coalesce, right? Then do selected value, right? Then come over to this point, then do so now once you do selected, you go to let's use that sales analysis. Now remember we had so we are using this as a placeholder. In fact, not even once you do that, just come to this place and type. Remember, we had created pricing factor already as a we had created pricing factor already as a what a parameter. Just put it straight directly. Because and the reason why we're going to put this one straight is that this one there will always be a value inside that column, right? There will always be a value inside that column. So that's then you do close and press your bracket twice. Is your Power BI up now? Okay, so
Yes, it is. But
what? Sorry.
so I'm at the point where you're creating this selected pricing factor.
Okay, great.
But
So
in my own,
in
okay,
your
please
own,
go ahead. Go ahead,
so
please. Let me.
let's not bother to use Qualis. So and the reason why we don't need to use Qualis is that in this case, for pricing factor, there will always be a product inside. There will always be a product, and there will always be something inside here. So, for example, when you are using blanks, when you are using pricing factor, there will always be something inside here. There will always be a value inside here. Either it is 1, 2, 3. There will always be a value. This place, even if it's 0, there will always be a value inside here. You understand? So that's why we're going to be using selected, and we're going to be using. Let's just use selected value for this one. So once we do create a measure, and we just do selected what pricing factor equals what, then you just simply do what selected value. That means any value that is selected, then you do pricing factor and click OK. So selected pricing factor equals selected value for the pricing factor itself.
Sorry, is there a table for pricing factor?
No, it's not a table. is the what if parameter we created. This is the what if parameter. So when we created a what if parameter, it actually reflected here as a table. So you can see it here. This is, it shows you the, you can see it's a pricing factor value and then pricing factor. You understand? So it creates a table with two different, that this first one is the pricing factor in terms of the values that makes up the pricing factor. Then this is now the second part, which has to do with like the measure in case. You understand? So we are now creating it as a measure here, selected pricing factor. Did you get that? Hello, are you speaking?
I'm on it. You can move on, please. Thank you.
Okay. 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 So once we've gotten those three things, once we've gotten them, then the next thing we now want to create is, okay, fine. Once we want to create our adjusted price. So we understand that we want to be able to adjust our price based on some preset values. We know that our unit price is one for each of these ones. Once you come to this place and click, our unit price here for each one has a particular value. For example, when you click on sales records, the unit price for sales records is here. Let's come back to this place. Where is that thing? So we come to product details. The unit price is here. You can see the product cost price. Let's change this one. The product cost price is 1,300 and the selling price is 1,500 for nuts, for crackers 1,900, and for chips is 2,300. So the we now want to be able to check what is the adjusted price. We want to create a measure for the adjusted price such that anytime we want to adjust a price, we'll just automatically put in our pricing factor and it will adjust that price for us to the new price that we want it to be. So we know that based on the previous record, these are the selling price: 1,500, 1,900, 2,300. But we want a case where we can adjust our price and then we can decide, okay, this is the new price we want to use going forward. So what do? We come over to this point and then we're going to create a measure for adjusted price. Are you here now, Lolade?
No, I'm not.
Okay, where did you
So
stop?
my sister keeps hanging. I'm still on the
You are still on the what?
the last thing you did, the number of products.
Oh, okay, number of products. That's you've not gotten to the point of selected price. Oh, number of products for the price. What's the name? That's for
The
the
pricing factor.
the pricing. That's under the what if parameters.
Yes.
Okay, you've not gotten to this where we created selected cost of goods sold and selected pricing factor, right? You've not gotten here.
So I've done that. I've done selected cost of goods sold and selected price. Okay, so I'm trying to do the selected price factors. But what is showing, what I can see here is the sales analysis, the table, the price factor under the sales analysis.
Okay, have you created this pricing factor?
Oh, okay. So I didn't name it pricing factor. I named the parameter.
No, okay, you have to change the name. You know there are three parameters we've created. So you have to name them with what they are supposed to be named.
Okay, so one is oh shit.
So you can go and adjust it. Just click on these three dotted lines down here. Then you choose rename.
Rename. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so once you do that, then you are now going to, so are we good now?
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So now once you do that, you are now going to come over to selected. Remember I said, remember the idea is very simple. We want to be able to say, okay, I've said this before. So let's just create the adjusted price. We'll come over to this place, do new measure, and type adjusted price equals what? Selected unit price times what? Selected pricing factor. So that anytime we put in our pricing factor, it will just automatically multiply by the unit price and give us the new price. And that new price will now be used in a lot of other different places to be able to give us an idea of the revenue, profit, and a whole lot of things like that. So once we understand that and that is clear, we're now going to be going into, okay, we now want to begin to understand a couple of other things around, say, have you done this now?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Like, I'm a little bit behind. So
Okay,
I'm
so where
trying
did
to.
you say? Okay, you're trying to catch up, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the first parameter is pricing factor, right?
Yes.
Sorry, pricing factor. Sorry, the second one.
The second one is number of goods sold, number of products sold.
No, pricing factor value.
Okay, no, you're not
I'm
creating
trying
that
to
one.
rename.
No, don't rename everything. Just okay. What did you see there? What was there before?
Okay, it was showing parameter value.
Okay. Just okay. Just put pricing factor value. Yeah, you can put pricing factor value.
So,
So have you done that? Okay, you're still on it, right? You're changing
yes,
it.
please. Yes, please.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now I've changed it. So I need to go back to the selected pricing factor. Okay. Okay, now so I'm picking pricing. Can you show me the DAX formula again, please, for the
For
selected pricing?
okay, it's just I just do selected value.
Okay. Uh-oh. Sorry. Okay, I'm good now. Can you hear me? I'm good now.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. So okay, hold on, please. Okay, so just slight technical issues. Okay, just hold on. Let me be sure that it's still recording. Oh, boy. Okay, it's still recording. Okay, can you see my screen now? Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, that's very sure. Good. So now let's continue. Yeah, so that's great. So now we've gotten our selected pricing factor, we've gotten our adjusted price. So we now want to begin to get our total revenue. Remember, the revenue we got in this first instance is the revenue for the historical records, right? But now in this case, now the revenue we're going to be putting here, the revenue, profits, cost, is going to be the revenue that will be based on the values that we put in ourselves. For example, in this place, you will notice that when I put in this particular place here, when you come to this historical records, I cannot tamper with anything that is here. Everything is already preset. But if I come to this sales analysis and I change this product size and I change it to say 20 and I press enter, you can see that the revenue has changed to 114,000. Same thing if I come to this, so it is the, and I can also do the same thing per product. So what we're going to begin to do is we're now going to begin to say, okay, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to do total revenue. Total revenue equals what? Adjusted price times number of products. Adjusted price times number of products. Now what this is saying is the new price that we've selected based on the pricing factor that we included times the number of products that was sold. That is the total revenue. So multiply by 3 again. What is the sales cycle? Remember, sales cycle is speaking to the number of months. So these are the 3 key parameters we're using at I am choosing adjusted revenue. We're saying that the new total revenue based on analysis, you can do total revenue underscore analysis equals the adjusted price, which is affected by the pricing factor. So if you say 10%, the adjusted price will increase to 10% of the original one, times the number of products that you want that you imputed, times the number of months in this case now sales cycle, that's number of months or maybe days, but this is number of months that were imputed, and you put enter. So do you get the justification for this measure now? Hello, are you still there?
Yes, please.
Okay, did you get this? Did you get this one?
Please come again on the total revenue analysis.
Okay, so everything we are doing here, we are doing it based on the analysis. We are creating values by ourselves that we can interact with. Do you understand? Do you understand the concept of this adjusted price?
Yes, yes.
Okay, beautiful. Now that you understand the concept of adjusted price, we are now saying that for you to be able to determine the total revenue from the analysis, based on the analysis we are doing, we
Okay.
must get our adjusted price. That's the new price we have set.
Yeah.
That is of product multiplied by the number of months that we are looking at selling. You understand? So if we are saying that we want to say we have maybe before it was, give me a moment, please. Total revenue, we want to be able to ascertain what's our new revenue when we put in the values that we want. That means we put in our pricing factor that's giving us adjusted price. We put in our number of products and we put in our sales cycle. That is the number of months we are looking at selling. Now, okay, say 3 months. In the next 3 months, if we sell 30 products at this price, how much are we going to get? That's what is here. Is that clear now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's great. So once you do this, you do enter. So, and that's what's going to be guiding all of our everything all of the measures we are creating. We are using the what those what if parameters and the the measures that we have just created. So the next thing we're also going to be creating total. We're also going to be creating the total cost of total profits, right? Before we create total profits, we're going to be using total annual costs. Now, total annual cost, we're going to be creating total cost in this regard again. You do total costs. We're going to be saying total costs, or let's say total annual cost, or let's say total cost underscore sales analysis, so that we can identify it when we see it. Sales analysis equals selected cost of goods sold. Remember we said selected cost of goods sold earlier. Selected cost of goods sold, right, multiplied by the number of products multiplied by the sales cycle, right? Now, once you have that understanding that, okay, look, selected cost of goods sold multiplied by the number of products multiplied by the sales cycle, you multiply it and then you will just, so this one is just the same thing as the other one. The other one is what? The adjusted price. This one is looking at the cost of the goods sold, that's based on whichever cost multiplied by the number of products that were sold multiplied by the sales cycle. That is this time now we're looking at the months. We're saying it's a monthly thing, so person is putting maybe 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months, and the number of products. Okay, I'm looking at producing 50 products of nuts. Nuts is costing $1,300. I want to produce 50 over the space of 3 months. How much will be my total cost? That's just what this is saying. Selected cost of goods is speaking to the cost of that particular item you selected, which is saying, let's say nuts. You selected nuts. The cost of that nut is what? 1,300. Number of products is okay. You are looking at producing, say, 500 products. Multiply by what? The sales cycle over the space of 3 months. How much is the total cost? That's what this is telling you. So you do enter. So once you've done this, do you get this part now? Did you get this part also?
Yes.
Okay. So once you've done this, you're going to be doing total profits, right? Total profit. And just like we said earlier, total profit is just the same thing as total revenue minus total profits is equals to a total revenue analysis minus what? Total profits and total cost analysis. Then you press enter. Okay, so we are supposed to put total profit underscore analysis because there's already a name for total profit. Total profit underscore analysis. Then I press enter. So okay, so I can continue, right? Let's put okay. So now after we've done this, now we're going to be doing for what we call adjusted. Now we've been able to create our total profit. Now we've been able to see that okay, yes, total revenue analysis. We've been able to see that this is the adjusted price times number of products times sales cycle. And we can see all of these things, and now it is clear, right? It's clear that now we're now going to also do what we call the profit margin. We're going to be doing what we call the profit margin. Before we do the profit margin, we're going to be doing what we call the adjusted revenue. Now, what is adjusted revenue? Adjusted revenue is saying that when you have created, now this is your total revenue analysis, and this is just good. Now, once we've done it, this is fine for us. We already have we're just going to create the final one, which is our profit margin for this regard. I also going to create profit margin. That means in terms of your analysis, this is our profit margin, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to create a measure again for profit margin. Let's do profit margin. profit margin underscore analysis equals total profits analysis divided by total revenue analysis. Then press enter. So have you gotten this?
I'm on it.
Okay.
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. So that's splendid. Now with this, we'll just create one more. Like I said, I mentioned we'll create just one more. And the one more we're going to be creating is just the profitability index. So we are mimicking the same set of measures that we created here in this place. We are making the same set of measures we created in this. That's just it. Then we can then go straight into our visualization. So we do this, we click on new measure, then we say sales, profit sales efficiency analysis equals what? Sales efficiency equals total revenue analysis divided by total cost analysis. Press enter. And once you press enter, this one you call it a percentage, display it in percentage.
Okay, that should be in percentage.
Yes, it should be in percentage.
Okay, what about the other sales efficiency we did in the first measure? Is it also in percentage?
Yes, so we're going to come back and change all of those ones back to percentage. Even the profit margin, we'll change the percentage. So no, profit margin analysis, yes, we'll change those ones to percentage as well. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay, so now that we've done that, we can then go ahead and say, okay, so let's change them to percentages now. Let's change them profit margin, change to percentage, change your sales efficiency. Okay, that was already in percentage. Change, okay, profits, all of this one. Then change the sales efficiency to change the percentage. So change your
Profit margin.
margin to percentage. Yeah. Change your profit margin to percentage. Yeah. So
Sorry, I asked earlier, what's the value that you have in this price factor? Um, like this visual, this pricing factor.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can.
The recording is still ongoing. I don't know. I can't even find. Okay, maybe because you didn't leave the meeting, so it didn't stop recording. Okay. So now we stopped at we said okay, now we want to now begin our visualizations, right? We've been able to see that I ascertained that okay, we've gotten the key major revenue. We can see all of our key questions. So let's begin to answer our questions one after the other. So we're going to that page, historical records page, or we can call it sales records. Sales records. So we're going to be creating a second page, and we're going to be calling that page sales analysis. Let's call that page sales analysis. So the idea behind these two pages is for us to have two pages of information. One page is where our historical records will be, and the second page is where our sales records will be. So I think we can just come here and change this one to middle alignment. So now, once we've understood this, remember all our business questions that we have here. Our business questions that we have here, number one is we want to be able time we're creating our dashboard, right? Normally, the very first thing is we need to be able to say, okay, what is so there are two ways of going around it. You can either start creating a dashboard first and import your background design, or import your background design and begin to create your dashboard to it. So, but for the sake of alignment, I'm just going to bring in. So usually you can create a dashboard design using PowerPoint. I already created some here, which I'm going to be bringing in, but you can use PowerPoint to actually create what you have in this place. You can use PowerPoint to create it. Once you use PowerPoint to create it, it will just this is the original PowerPoint file here. If you are good with PowerPoint, once you just open it, you create the background you want to create, you adjust it, ensure it looks beautiful. Just in it, you export it as a PNG file, and then you have a very nice background. Some will do a lot of other things to create, but I have already created two here. I think this one is for the first page. I've created one already. This one is for the first page, and I think this should be for the second page. That sales analysis should be for the second page, so that at least it will give us a guide when we are creating our designs, and it will help us to be able to structure our design appropriately. So you have those two already, if I'm not mistaken. You have them now. You have them, right?
Yes.
Okay,
One is
great.
historical records and the other one is sales analysis.
Yes,
Hello,
yes,
hello, sir.
yes,
Sorry, are you the one that created these two new sheets, sales records and sales analysis?
yes. I just created them now.
You just created
Sales,
them. Okay. Uh-huh.
sales
Okay.
records. So what you are going to do is you click on this format your report page. So some people actually use Figma. So that's where designs come in. Some people are not very good with designs, right? While some people, their design is their first name. So if you are good with Figma, some people can do a lot of fine. So you see all those beautiful dashboards. Please don't be deceived, though. Many of them were not done directly on Power BI. People will go to Figma and design backgrounds, then come back to import into Power BI and then begin to put their stuff, right? So I'm just going to come to Canva background, click on this, come over to the first one. I want to use sales records first. So I'll do historical records. So I think it should be copy. I should have dashboard resources here. So historical records. Just give me a minute, please. It should be first page. No, I think it should be first page. Let me confirm. It should be first page. Build a dashboard with me. What is that page? Build a dashboard. Okay, let's use dashboard resources. Historical records. Okay. Who is not muted? For the sake of those who will watch this class, can you just mute yourself for the sake of those who will do the renew who will watch the class again? So you can see nothing is showing here when I imported historical records, right? All I need to then do is come back here and come to transparency and put 0. and you can see, voila, it's showing my, it's showing everything now clearly. So now I want to be able to represent my, all of my KPIs here. The first thing you always do is that you need to be able to represent your KPIs on your dashboard. Those are the quick answers that any stakeholder would like to see. What are the KPIs? What are the key performance indicators that helps the business to know how well they are performing at every point in time? So we are still going along with these questions, and all of these questions still boils down to anybody that looks at a report. The first question is, what is our revenue? What's our profits? What's our profit margin? How well are we doing based on revenue to cost ratio? Those are the first questions that they will ask before they go into, oh, okay, what month did we do this? What month, those are secondary questions. So once you understand that simple analogy, you just simply know, I need to give my stakeholders what they want first. I can then begin to do my beautiful designs down, right? So what do? I just click on this card visual here. So if you need me to pause, I can just pause so that I can catch up. But if not, I'll just continue. So I drag it and make it as small and make it nice enough for, although it could be cool to have equal heights, but interestingly, I don't have it, but I can pick up the height from the height of the dimensions of what was in the, so we can use the dimensions since it accurately takes over the entire. So we have this already. All we need to do is simply, what's the first thing? The first natural thing anybody is going to be asking for is sales, total revenue, and this page is for the sales records. So I'm just going to simply click on so it's too big, very big. So I come over to format your visual, I click on it, I change this to 25. Okay, seems okay, but so if I change this to 25, so I would suggest let's use, so for the size, let us use a size of 101 by, so this is 25, so let's take it to 22, and then let us reduce the categorical label. The category label is this total revenue that is underneath it. So we can reduce this category label, come back to category label and reduce it to 9. So it looks okay. You can come to general and this place, you can change this one to 101 by 151. Okay, it looks very big now. So we can take it to the middle. You can see it has covered, if you notice clearly now, it has covered what was here before. If you look at it carefully, it has covered what was here before. So I can just do one more thing, which is to come to properties, that's under general, come to effects and remove background. So because it's already a white background, it has covered what was here before. So I can remove the background. And you can see now that it is sitting, you can shift it to the middle. And you can see now it is sitting right where it should be. Have we done this? Let me just pause a bit so you can catch up. Once you are done, you can just put done in the chat so that I can know that you are. Let's put done. Hi, Loradi. Are you having a challenge with it?
I'm done. I just finished now. Done.
Oh, great. So we can then change the color to suit the color of, so you can see first off, you notice that this is just showing 565K, which is not what we want. Want it to show the currency. So we can just click on total revenue and select dollar, right? Once we do that, come over to this place. We want to change the color. We don't want it to be black. Let's choose our brand color. So we can choose this purple. This purple looks bright. This is 744 EC2. Okay, so same color. We can choose this, and we can either maintain that one as, we can maintain that one as the same color it is, but we can leave it this way. So there's another thing you can put. You can put, you begin to put icons here and there, but for now, we'll just keep that and just stick with what we have. So we have this already now. Once you've done this, all you need to do is Control C, Control V across, so that we can have it across the same formatting across. So just put this here for the remaining. So Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. So the reason I created it is so that we know the new ones we're going to be creating will just be changing the measures, because we've already formatted this one to suit what we want. So what we just need to begin to do is just begin to change the features to match what we're looking for eventually. So once you click on this, for example, I want everything to align properly, and I click on this and click on format, align. So you distribute horizontally first of all. Okay, not horizontally, it's not exactly. So if you distribute horizontally, it looks okay though, but it's not exactly okay. So we'll just try and center them, because I think the boxes are not exactly evenly arranged. So I can just center them like this. Okay, so once we are here, are we here now?
Yes.
Okay, great, great. Okay, so once we are here, then what we need to do now is we're now going to begin to put in the values for each one of them. So come and click on this second one here, uncheck this box, check the box of total costs. Then come to this one again, cancel what was, no, click on this one, cancel, what's the name? Cancel what is here, then check the box for total profits. So we need to change total profit to dollar. Change it to dollar.
Please, 1 second, please. Can I see the formula for your total cost? The value for mine seems to be different.
Okay, so it should be total cost of goods sold plus the sum of the sum. Oh yeah, I think I see. Yes, okay, yes, it's correct. So it's total cost of goods sold plus the sum of the sales analysis, total fixed cost. On the sales analysis,
Sum
yes,
multiplied.
no, it's the
Okay,
sum.
plus sum. Okay.
Sum. So it's supposed to add up everything in that column, and the only value in that column is the fixed cost, which is total, which is so we've done that, right?
Yes, I'm good. I did multiplication. I'm good now. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, good now. That's splendid. That's splendid. So you come over to this place, you click on, you cancel, then you choose the sales efficiency. So for this one, let's know you can use sales efficiency. Now, once you use sales efficiency, you come over to this point, you click on this one, then you will use what we call, hold on, cancel this. For this one, you click cancel this one, you will choose your total profits. No, sorry, the profit margin. Profit margin. Now, once you've done that, you are now going to also finally return to So you've gotten profit margin, right? That's 10.44%. So apparently we forgot to add one more thing. I think we ought to have added the quantity, the number of goods that were sold. So we can just quickly write a measure for that. So we want to add that measure here. So you can just come here, click on new measure, do number of products that were sold. Number of products sold equals, or quantity of products sold, or quantity sold, total quantity. So let's make it total quantity sold equals count. So I'm just going to count the sales records, the sales records transaction ID. That's what you're going to do. You're just going to count the sales records transaction ID. That's what you're going to do. The sales records transaction ID. That's what you're going to do. So once you've done that, you press enter and then click, and you can see total quantity sold is 100. So I say we sold 100 products. Now, looking at this has already given us a tidbit into how well we are performing. We can see that looking at just this now, we can see our profit margin is just 10.44%. Our profit margin is 10.44%, and we can see that we're already getting some quick and basic answers regarding this. Our sales efficiency is 111%, meaning that after we take out our costs, we only have 11.6% as our, in terms of efficiency, right? We can say that our profit is 59K. It will be helpful to change. Maybe we can do 2 decimal points for this profit, so that at least it's going to, so you can come to visual, come over to value decimal places, and you can put it at 1 decimal place, so that, okay, it's actually 59,000 on a stretch, so that's fine. So now we have this. Now the next thing we want to begin to go into is we want to be able to do our trend analysis. Now the question is, which month is performing best in terms of revenue? Which month is performing best in terms of revenue, right? And what do? Naturally, we know that anytime we want to do anything that speaks to time series analysis, we have to use a time chart, line chart. Anything that has to do with time series analysis, we have to use a line chart. So what we're going to do is we're going to just simply click on line charts. Once you click on line charts, you can see it here. It comes over to this point. We drag it and make it within the space that is. You drag it over to this side. Now, we want to do two things. We want to do based on the questions that we want to answer, right? We had a lot of questions. We said definitely, okay, nobody put anything. Okay, which month generated the most sales across regions? So a lot of questions were asked here, right? So we're just going to be looking at them on a very high level in terms of executive APIs, because when you're trying to build a dashboard, it's mostly like an executive dashboard. Like this one is for executives. They just need quick answers. That's the idea. So that's what we're going to just be doing. We want to just give them quick answers. So we're looking at the monthly analysis. So all we need to do is click on this. We come over to, so we are using two things. We want to use the total profits, and we also want to use the total, no, we're going to use total cost, and also we're going to use the total revenue. So what we can do is we'll come over to this point where we see total revenue for the sales records. Check the box. Once we check the box, it will automatically go to where it should be, which is the y-axis in this case. Then we want to use, what's the second thing we want to use? We want to use, what's the name now in this case? Okay, so we want to use the month name. Now we can use the date, and I'm going to show us the drill down feature. So we can use the date, because one thing that the date does is that it allows you to drill down, which is a very interesting feature when people want deeper information. But when you are doing your presentation, you can just present it based on the month. So let's go and look for where the date is. So we have the date under the calendar table here. We use this date. And why we are confident to use this date is simply because we have connected this date table to our sales records table through our join, our relationship that we did earlier, if you can recall. So all we need to do is click on dates. So once you click on it, you can see it looks pretty funny to start with. But now, by this, you can see that it is showing us the breakdown, even though it's looking like some of this cardiography stuff that they use, right? Now, you can see it's showing us the breakdown from March, from January down to March and down to November. It's just going up, but it might not really make a lot of sense because now we're just seeing parchment of information. Now, if you want to drill down, you can just click on this to turn on the drill down. Okay, this one is to drill up and then move up. Okay, now we can see January, March, May, July, September, and November. And then you can still go up and say, okay, you can still go up and drill up a bit and say, you can see just by January down to October, and you can then drill up and see just only for 2024. So for this is for quarter, this is for months of the year. So what I'm going to do now for this is I'm going to, okay, so I'm going to stretch this out. I'll stretch this as well. So have you done it? So once you do this, then we are going to begin to change the, let's begin to format
Sorry,
this.
my chart is blank
Okay,
after
can,
selecting the date.
okay, so did the date come to x-axis?
Let me check. Yes,
Okay, the date came to x-axis.
x-axis, yes, and the total revenue y-axis.
Okay, the total revenue is on y-axis. So, but did you connect to when we did the data model, was the calendar, was it connected to the the sales record? So can you check?
Yes, it's showing yes, one to many. Yes.
Okay, showing a one-to-many relationship. So, and this entire place is blank.
Yes.
Okay, did you select anything or you just okay, let's do it this way, right? Uncheck that box, remove the dates. So remove the date and put, so remove the dates and just come to sales records and put product ID. See if it will show anything. Okay, it's line chart you chose, right?
Yes, line chart.
Okay, so it's like okay, close it, cancel the line charts, cancel the line charts.
Okay.
That now by let's take it again. So once you cancel the line chart, let's I'm canceling. So let's open the line chart again. Click on line chart, open line chart again. Let's open line chart again. Now all you need to do is come over to, so this time let's drag it now. Let us not copy, let's just drag it. So this is this, just drag it, hold it and drag it down to x-axis. Then go to revenue and drag it down to y-axis. Okay, yours is showing these dots, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that dot is showing that because it's only 1 year that is under review. So before, if you had several years, it will show all of the years. But because it's only 1 year that is under review, so that's why you're having this. So if you click on this icon here, then click on this double arrow like this.
Okay.
You can see it will come and you can see quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, and quarter four. Did you try that? Did you see it?
I'm on it. Okay. It's still showing the dots.
Oh, no, no. So when you click on this, you know there's a middle icon here. Once you click on, did it show? Is it showing check? Like, is it showing like black the way this one is showing?
Yes.
Now click on this next icon beside it. This one that has double arrow. Just click it.
Okay, I have total revenue by day, but it's blank.
Okay, click it again.
I think that's the lowest
Okay,
level
now
of
come back to
data.
this one. Click on drill up. Click on this one now.
Okay, so
Sorry? The what?
I'm coming 1 minute, 1 second. It's showing the what's it called? That's the y-axis now is showing blank. Sorry, the x-axis is showing blank. That's the calendar. Like it's not.
Okay, so the calendar, that's for this place. There is nothing here.
Yes.
Okay. So now when you okay, so can you screenshot, do a screenshot and send to the group so I can see
Okay.
how exactly it looks like?
I just sent it now.
Okay, that's to, is it to the WhatsApp chat or to the,
Yes. Oh, should I send it to
no, no, no,
the
it's fine. No, I just wanted to know exactly where it was.
WhatsApp? I sent
No,
it to
no,
WhatsApp.
no, it's fine. No, I've seen it.
Okay.
Okay, so I've seen what you shared. So now can you, okay, okay, can you send a screenshot of the place where, I mean, that where you know the x-axis and the y-axis place, yeah.
Okay.
You know, that's, you know, where we have the x-axis and the y-axis, so I can see how that part looks, man.
I've done that.
Okay, hold on, please. Okay. Okay, so it looks okay from what I can see. The only thing I can see is that, can you go to the dates table itself? Can you go to the table view for the dates? Is there a
The
date there
calendar.
for the calendar?
Yes, there's dates
I mean, from 2020. Hold on, let me
from the
check.
table view.
Yes, from 1st of January to 31st of December. From 1st of January to
Yes,
31st of December.
first July, first July, first July to 31st December 2024.
Okay.
But one thing I
So
can see here is the date column. So it's showing Monday, July 1st, 2024.
the date column, Monday, July 1st, 2024. You mean this
Yes,
particular
should
one?
I change it? Should I?
Okay, that's to change
Yes,
to
that
short
first
date.
column, short date,
You
yes.
can change to
Or
short date. Nothing, although that's not really much of an issue, but you can change to short dates. You can here, the one on sales records. Is it the same thing? You have your
sorry,
dates
what
on
did
sale.
you say?
When you come to date of sale, is it also formatted as dates? I mean, on this date of sale, is it also formatted here as dates?
That's under the sales record, right? Yes, yes. It's formatted that way.
Okay, it's formatted that way, right?
The yes.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
but it's
so
showing as text.
that's the problem. So okay, you didn't change it to okay, this place is showing as text.
Yes.
That's the problem.
That format
You
okay.
know, I said it that and if you don't format your data clean properly, it will cause problems. So let's go back to
Okay, to transform. Okay.
go back to transform data. Then click on sales analysis, sales records.
Sales record.
Then come here, then change it to dates. Yeah.
Sorry, it's taking time, it's loading. Okay. Okay, I'll change this to dates, then I can close and apply.
Okay, so is it working now?
I'm about to check. I'm loading it back to Power BI.
Okay.
Yes, it's fine now. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So I guess that's just so I hope and group that has been fixed so that everybody begins to wonder if there's a problem. Okay, so that's fine. Thanks for that. Okay, so we've gotten that now. So now I'm glad you can see the importance of data cleaning when you are doing your data, because if it's not well cleaned, it will give you problem much later. So now we want to format this table, and well, I salute your tenacity, to be honest. I think
Thank you.
it's well, it's recommended. Yeah. So we want to now begin to say, okay, we want to leave it at month so that at least it will give us, others are, it's good to, you can always have a drill down, but let's leave it at say months in this case now. So let's begin to format what we have here. So there's something I didn't quite show us. We can do it. So what we're going to do is I just want to do something. I want to show us something quickly. I want to show you something quickly. Let's come to view so that we don't have to be changing the color of our chart every time. So let's come to view. Let's come to this place as when you come to view, you come to this point, click on customize current theme. So we want to choose the theme. So I want to choose this 744 EC2 is our theme color. So I want to choose it so that anywhere we need to use it, it will just automatically appear. We don't have to begin to change colors every time. So we want to call it 744 EC2. You can type it in the X code part. 744 EC2. The second one is E66C37. That's this one. Let me paste this one on the charts so that I will not make you to start cramming after leaving secondary school for 30 years. Okay, so the third one is, hi, Edie, welcome. It's a privilege to have you here. Okay,
Don't be distracted, Sas.
no problem, noted. I just need to mention. So we've
But thank you.
created our team already. Yeah. So we've created our team already and we understand what that is for. Now the next stage, so that by the time we are creating subsequent visuals, we will not have to begin to change things here and there. So we can even come here. Our card and KPIs are always that same team. So I think it's 744 EC2. So that way we can put it at 25. So that if we have any other card visual we want to set, it will just automatically pick this preset values. You don't have to begin to always modify that again. So that's something that your team does for you. So have you done that already, Lolade?
I'm on it.
Okay, so I'll just give you a minute to do that. So let me know when you're done so we can continue.
The first team, the first color is the 744
for
EC2, right?
Yeah, yes.
While
And the
the
second
second
color,
one,
okay, let me check that one. I didn't crown down. That one is E66C37. E66C37. And I said you can come to text, come to cards and KPIs, change this one to 20, I think this one is 25. And change this one to one of the team colors, 744 EC2. But this one is not necessary, so we can just do a copy and paste when it's done. Don't worry, just cancel. This one is not necessary. We can do a copy and paste once we need it. You get? So just click on cancel. So now we want to format this line chart to look okay. So we want to use two various. We want to use both revenue and want to use cost of goods sold, so that at least we can have an idea of the variation between our cost of goods sold and revenue. So we're going to put cost of good total cost as well in this point here. So you can just drag it and come and drop it here too as well. So it looks so interesting. I think we should change this chart to an area chart. So we want to use a line chart, but line chart is great, but you can see it looks very closely related. So you can see, so I think we use total cost. We use total cost here instead of total cost of goods sold, so that we can have that very close distance. So let us use the total cost of goods sold in this case. Let's have total cost of goods sold, which looks very close, by the way. Then we can use an area. Let's try. Okay, an area chart kind of makes it look so it's very closely related, but let's use it by the way. We are changing this to an area chart. So once you do this, now we can now begin to format this our line charts. We can begin to format it in a way that it will look presentable. You can see it still look kind of scattered and all. So what you will do is click on format your visual. So first thing, I want to remove the title. I want to put my own title. I want to remove the title. I'm going to begin to remove a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to remove is, let's take out you can come over to this place, take out your title. Then once you are done taking out your title, you can come over to this point. You can begin to remove things like, let's scroll down. We want to move our grid lines. We want to move our grid lines so it appears simple. Grid lines, you can see grid lines here. Once you scroll up, we want to remove the title on the y-axis so that we can have more space on the we want to move the title on the y-axis so we can have more space on our our dashboard. Then have you done that now? Are you here now? Have you done this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So okay. Okay, I noticed something. Okay, so once we've been able to do this, so I'm not quite comfortable with the fact that this thing is like this. So I'm going to most likely import another. So this your one, is it having this same slanty kind of thing? This your month, is it also slanty in nature? Or is it sitting straight? I want to know some. I want to know some before I go ahead and adjust it. Is it slanty or is it straight?
Sorry, it's slanty how? Yes,
I
yes,
mean
it
this
is. It's
your
slanting, yes. The months, yes.
oh, okay. Okay, I think it's because of the way it's structured. So we can actually have short name for the month, but let's just leave it like that way. We can always, probably just maintain, we can maintain the, okay, so let's leave it that way. So now, once you've been able to do this, now we're able to identify that, look, this is, we can remove the background so that it looks pretty better. We can remove the background so that it's it will be able to sit properly on what we want it to sit on. So now once we're able to do this, we can put in markers. So at least if you come over to this point, you see markers. Show for all series. So what those markers does is it helps you to point to specific data points for each of the months. So that's what it helps you to do, specific data points for each of the months: October, August, November, and all of the likes. Now, once we're able to do this, we have the basic, we already have that. Okay, we can see our legend that is already showing us that this is the total revenue and this is the total cost of goods sold. The total revenue is the one in, let me move this up so that nobody begins to feel that this is. So total revenue is what the one in this the first color, while the total cost of goods sold is just directly underneath it, right? So with this now, we can see that distribution and we can see that they're actually following through with each other. We can begin to see that, oh, September happens to be the month where there happens to be a nosedive, but the month with the highest seems to be between June and July. That's where we seem to experience our highest revenue. So we can see that we are beginning to answer our business questions one step at a time. We are beginning to answer our business questions one step at a time. So what will I do? I'm going to put the charts first, then I'll come back and put the titles, right? So the next question I want to know is, okay, which age, we want to know the total quantity of goods sold across the three different products. Have you done this? You've done this, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so the quantity of goods sold across the three different products. Now, what you are going to do is you are going to go ahead and then click on. Now, there is a new type of card visual, right? There's a new type of card visual, and that card visual can actually represent three different KPIs. Before now, you could just represent one and one alone. But as Power BI kept improving, it brought a new type of card visual that can allow you to represent three different types of cards. So what you're going to do is you're just simply going to click on. Do you have this? You should have this card new. You should have it on your system. Card new. Right. Do you have this one? Card new. Click on it.
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. So go ahead and just do. So go ahead and click on card new. So once you do that, once you've clicked on card new, then what you're going to do next is you go to your products. Now you're going to go to your total number of goods. So remember, we already got our measures for total number of goods. So that's the quantity sold. So we're going to go to that measures table as well, and we're going to select total cost of goods sold. No, not total cost, sorry. Quantity. Where is quantity? Where did we put quantity again, sir? Let me check it. I know where it is. Okay, so we're going to go and hide. But we found it. So quantity, yes. We're going to put quantity here. Click on this. It will go to your data. So we know our quantity is 100, but we want anybody that comes to this place at first glance to be able to see the quantity sold for each of the products. You know, we have three product type. We want anybody that comes to this place at first glance to be able to see the quantity sold for each of the products. So what do? We come to small multiples. Where is it? Small multiples. We are going to go to the product details table. You know, that product details table is a table that has the information about all of those products. Go to the product details table, then come and click on product name and drag it and put it under small multiples. Right? So now, once you do that, have you done this?
I'm dragging it to where small multiples.
Yes, small multiples.
Yes, I've done that. Yes, I have.
You can see it's not looking fine, right? It's not looking fine. So what you do, you come to format your visual. Once you come to format your visual, you come over to this point where you see layout. Come to layout. Once you come to layout, choose single column. Now, once you choose single column, then you can see it's already kind of showing, but it's not still showing clearly. You scroll down. Once you scroll down, you come to where you have small multiples layouts. You can see small multiple layout. You check it. Now let's scroll down. Let's come to small multiple layouts. Then where you see small multiple layout, scroll down, remove grid lines, remove background. Now once you do this, have you done that?
Yes, layouts and sorry, grid line and what else?
So remove grid lines and also remove grid lines, then hold on, remove background, remove grid lines, remove background, remove borders, off
Okay,
borders,
for
off,
that.
yeah.
Okay,
Now, once you do that, you scroll down to the last part, come to cards.
okay,
Now, once you come to cards, you will see under cards, you will see shadow, put shadow.
okay, turn it on.
Yes, you turn it on. Now, you notice after you turn on shadow, you notice it became quite smaller, right? I mean, the
Yes.
values. So, as the values became smaller, we are going to scroll back up and go to the size of those values. So, you can see, go to where you see call out values.
Okay.
Call out values. You change the size to 15. Have you done that?
Yes. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So now, once we've done that, okay, so and now let's now once we've done that, you come over to general. You come over to general, then increase the size to okay, increase the width to 266.
That's under properties.
Yes, increase size the width to 266. And then the height reduce it to 147. Then go to effects.
Okay.
Have you done it? Now, when you go to effects, you then remove the background.
Yes.
Now, once you remove the background, you can then let's go back and, put it in the middle. Let's move it towards the middle. Now, if you notice, the idea of always removing background most times is so that the original background that we have in the stuff can work for it. So what you can now do is come back to this point. So let's just change the color. Let's change the color of that particular one. So we can change the color to the same color that we're using before. You can make it bold. No, don't need to make it bold. Let's leave it this way. So change the color. Okay, so change the color. Then this label, uncheck the box for label so that it's going to take out the label.
Sorry, there's a line showing underneath the product names, chips, crackers.
There's a line. You mean
Yeah,
on my
that
own or your
like
own?
on yours.
Okay, this one,
Yes,
right? Don't
that
worry, just
line.
leave the line.
Yes. Okay.
Just leave the line. So have you removed this label? Have you turned it off? The label is under call out values. Have you turned it off?
Label color value.
Label is under call out values. You turn it off.
Okay, yes, I have.
Okay, then one final thing to do, you just come to title and let us just check that things are sitting well with the title. So with this title too, we're going to just change it to yellow and to the same color. Change it to the same color. And change it to the same color. So once we've done that, then have you done that?
Sorry, the title is under where?
So the title is under small multiple headers, small multiple headers. The title is under small multiple headers.
Okay, I've done that.
Okay,
Am I
so
leaving the font the way it is? The
yeah,
size
the size. What's the size of yours? It's 12, right?
12.
Okay, let's
Yes.
leave it that way. Let's leave it that way.
Mm.
So the size is okay. So now that we've gotten that part sorted, now what we're now going to do next is we can leave that and we can now move to. So we have, anyone that sees this is able to see the total, that's at least that's for starters. We can see the chips, for crackers, and for nuts, and it's easy for anybody to understand. Now the next thing we're going to go in out is the bar chart for age group. We want to see the age group that is doing well. So all we need to do is come to this place and choose clustered column charts. Click on this and drag to the left, and populate this. Just pull it this way. And then so once you've done this, you then select your age group. Remember, we have age group from sales record. So just check the box age range, it automatically populate, and check the box for total revenue, which is here under measures, total revenue, right? And we can see our total revenue already showing like this. So once we've done this, we can now begin to format this table as well. So one thing I always recommend is when you are doing, there's something called guest house principle. When you're trying to do your dashboards, always ensure that the focus is on what you want the focus to be. So I'm going to show you how to do that in such a way that, okay, look, the focus will just be on a particular set, maybe the highest, it could be the lowest, it could be whatever. So let's begin to format this. First thing we need to do is we take out the total, we'll take out the title we'll take out the title. So usually for bar charts, I usually take out the axis, because my title is going to give me everything I need. So I take out the axis especially for bar charts. I leave out the x-axis, but I take out the y-axis. But the only thing I now do is, for example, so once you take out the both of them, you remove up values, turn off the title, turn off the values, turn off the grid lines, because the grid lines of these ones are turned off. Then you turn on data labels. So you can see I've turned on data label. It's pretty obvious. So the only thing is my title is now what will now determine what I have next. So I put it there and I say data labels. I can change the value, I can change the way the values are sitting so that it will show the values in form of millions and not in form of thousands and not millions. Yeah, this looks okay. I'm more presentable than the other one.
Sorry, the value should be changed to thousands.
Yes.
Okay.
So once you change the values to thousands, you take out your total, your title. So we'll still come back and put title to all these things one after the other. I want us to build the dashboard first. Take out your title and take out your background. So we'll come back and come and build, put our title to each one of them. So you can do a copy and paste and drop here. But this one will be for promotion codes. So have we done this now?
Yes, I've done the copy and paste.
Okay, that's great. So you cannot remove age range from here and let us put promotion codes. So remember someone was talking about how promotion codes affect. So you can see that bundle seems to have the highest in terms of promotion codes. So promotion codes. So and the idea with copy and paste is it helps you to be sure that, oh yes, I have the accurate formatting already, so I don't need to stress myself on more things. So you can do another copy and paste again because we want to put two more charts here. So we're going to put one chart here for. So I remember one of the business questions was we asked questions around which promotion code leads to the highest revenue, and we're already answering that question here. You can see that the highest revenue is on bundle. And the other question was which customer. We're going to be looking at customer segments now. Which customer segments contributes to the highest revenue? Is it high, medium, or low? So we're going to be looking at that. That's another one we're going to be looking at. Then things like region, which region had the highest revenue, and that's what we're going to be doing now. So I'm going to just drag this one to the left and bring it down. And I'm just going to simply put region. Region. So we can see that South region followed closely by West and then North and then East. So and most times, like I said, some of the easiest ways to give you quick answers in the dashboard are just bar charts and line charts. Like literally, sometimes when you then begin to go overly complex, the business objective is already defeated. So we're going to be doing. So have you done this one?
Yes, I have.
Okay, great. So the last one, I'm going to the second to the last is for sales personnel. So which sales personnel is performing best? We can use profit for this one, so maybe not in terms of revenue. We can use profit. So which sales personnel is performing best? We come over to this place. Where is sales personnel? We have the sales personnel details here. I think we have, where is that table? We have the table for sales personnel, salesperson details. We have the table here. So we'll just come and drag this and drop this one here. Then we can change this one to total profits. In terms of profits, now you can see it's looking so clumsy. We can do what we call top five. Top five. We just want to look at the top five people that are performing excellently well in terms of profits. We don't want too much. We just want top five. How can you do it? We come over to filters. You see this place here. There's something called filters. Click on it. You come click on filters. Then you come and click on salesperson's first name. Is a drop down. Now you will see this place here, filter type. You can filter through different ways. You can do a basic filtering. That means you just come here and select what you want. Or you can come and click on this and call this is called top N. So what top N does is that it helps you to filter based on a particular criteria. So I can say, okay, I want you to filter by the top 5 or by the bottom 5 or by, that's the way it does its own things. That's why I say top N. That's top any number, top 5, top 10, top 20 from the entire records. So if I click on top N like this and I come and I put 5, it will now tell me top 5 of what, top 5 of what. I say top 5 of the total profits. And I click on apply filter. Can you see it has reduced drastically to just 5%? Can you see this? Do you understand what I just did?
Yes, I've done that. Yes.
Okay, great. That's splendid. That's going your speed. So then the last one we're going to be doing is the donut chart. So we want to see the distribution of the spending range and now in terms of percentage, how much each party is contributing to the final stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this donut chart. Oh, sorry. I selected it before I click. That's why it happens. So I should click out. I click on donut chart. I come over to this point and I drag it this way. And I click on this is, hold on. I click on this. So once I click on this, once I click on this, I come over to my total revenue. So now at this point, I want to, like I said, I want to know which spending, based on the total number of, this time I want to do this one based on total number of goods sold. We don't use revenue, let's just use total number of goods sold, so we can see which spending range is contributing the most, low, high, or those ones that are medium, right, in this case, or which. So now I'm going to just click on total cost of goods sold. I'm going to place that under values. No, total number of goods sold, sorry. Total number of goods sold, that's total quantity. So I'm going to place that under values. And then I'm going to put total, I'm going to come here and put the distribution. Hold on, please. So I'm going to come here and sales records. I'm going to put the distribution. Where is that? Spending patterns. Okay. So we can see it's looking pretty clumsy. Once you do this, it looks kind of clumsy. So what I will do is I want to format this to look a bit nicer and more friendly and presentable. So what I'm going to do is I'll come to format your visual. Once I click on format your visual, so usually the first thing I used to do is I used to take out legend. Legend is good, but there are other ways to make it nicer. I'll take out legend. You can see it looks better now a bit. Come to the slices. Let's give this one ash. We can give it black depending on how it looks. Maybe the black might be too sharp, but we can give it ash. But let's still work with black for now. Let's work with ash. We can work with ash. Now, for the detail labels. So for the detail labels, these detail labels is showing us. Should I pause so you can catch up, or you're moving at my pace?
So the spending pattern is on what distribution, like
The words, what did you say?
is it under the legend? Spending pattern is under the legend, right?
Yes. It will be under.
Okay,
It will be under legend. It will be under legend. Then the
legend,
values will not be quantity of goods sold.
quantity sold. Okay. So you
Yes.
formatted you
So I
changed the
came, yes.
low to ash.
Legend. Yes, I changed the slice, the low to ash. Then
Okay, I'm good.
legend. Okay, great. Then I came to detail labels and I changed this one to be category and percent of total. So like to give me the category and I'll be able to look at it and say, oh, okay, medium is contributing 37%, high contributing 34% and low contributing 29%. You get. So
Okay.
then once you do, you come to general and remove the title. So I see that the moment I remove the title, it looks better and it's adjusted.
Yes.
I
Yes.
can come back to video again, come back to values, make this one bold. You get, because you can change this one to DIN, increase one to 10. Now, once you do that, then you can then say, okay, let me reduce the size of, look at, let's make it look kind of nicer. Let's reduce the size of the slices. So, for example, we come to the slices. Let us reduce, hold on. Let us reduce the spacing so that it will look, the inner radius will be smaller. Sorry. So let's make it this way.
That's 79.
Yes, 79. Then finally, we come back to general and remove the background. So now we have our dashboard that is sitting in a way. We're not there yet, but at least it's somewhere we're getting there. We're getting there. So now that we've identified this, we're going to put two things here. We're going to put number one, we're going to put a slicer for our product. And we're also going to put, so remember one of the questions that were asked, so which region, we can see the region that generates, we can see now one more thing we're going to do is we're going to put now, remember what somebody put here based on the questions they put here, right? Based on the questions that was here, rather, we can see how does sales performance vary by sales channel. Now, as a store owner or as a store owner, the natural thing will be that you want to see everything about online sales on one side and you want to see everything about supermarkets on one side. So that will give you a form of confidence that, okay, yeah, I can see everything about supermarkets one side, I can see everything about online sales one side. So we're going to create a central slicer that will dissect the entire chart based on online and supermarkets. And what I'm going to do, we'll just come here, click on slicer. Once you click on slicer, carry that slicer, come and drop it here at the top here. Come and click at the top here. Drag it.
So please, where did you get the slicer? I didn't see.
Okay, I came over to this point here.
Okay.
Is that marvelous?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. I'm amazed you're here. You're still here. Well done.
I never left. I've been here.
Wow. Wow, that's
Thank you.
interesting. That's amazing. At least that even though you're still here, despite the fact that you didn't have any other person could have gone to see our watch recordings later, which many people never do. So we click on the slicers. So Lola, you got this right?
Yes.
Okay, so once you do that, then we're going to locate where we have sales channel and just check the box. So we can see it's not showing very well. It's not showing very well, but we'll check the box. So we come over to format your visual. We come to slicer settings. So you can see this style, vertical list. We change from vertical list to tile. You can see it's still not showing maybe in a way that we want. So when we see this tile, we can drag this and you can see that it's beginning to look somehow like what we are looking for. So if I click on this now, you can see the entire dashboard has changed based on just online. I can see that we sold 49 products, 286,000 revenue. I can see the products quantity for that particular what only online, like everything I just begin to online. Once I click on this, it changes and I can see everything for supermarket. So it gives that level of granularity that you're able to have a better view of what you are doing across board at once. So, but it's not still looking okay, So let's come over to this point. Let's remove the slicer header, right? So let's come to the values. Let's make the values bold. Once you make the values bold, You can change the color of the values to purple, increase the size a bit, maybe by 12 to 12. Now, once you've done that, then you are going to come over to background. Okay, not this background here. Come to this point here, general. Come to effects, remove the background. Now, once you remove the background, then so once you remove the background, then you can come out and click out, and you can see it's looking something like what we want. You can change the font type actually to okay, it's actually Sego. Okay, Sego. It's Sego. So that's fine. So we can see that we are getting closer to what we want. So once I click on this now, supermarket, everything just dissect based on supermarket. Once I click on this, it dissect based on this, and I come back here. So once we are done with this now, our dashboard is pretty much looking like what we are looking for. And we can now begin to put, so one more thing we can now do is this. We can, before we move ahead with this part, we'll just do one quick thing, and that is we are going to, what we are going to do is we are
Sorry,
going to
please.
come,
How did you format? How did you
you
format
mean,
format the slicers to be side by side, the online and supermarket?
oh, okay, I came to this slicer settings, I clicked on this and I clicked on tile.
Ciao. Okay, mine
Yes.
is one is above the other.
Then so just drag it, so drag them,
Okay,
drag
okay.
it. So have we done that now? Okay. So have we done that now?
It's still one is still above the other, so I'm trying to get the format you used.
Okay, so just come to this general and click on properties. Change this one to width. What's the width here?
Um, General properties. Okay, the width is 141,
Okay, change it to 252.
252, and the height to 45. Okay,
Okay,
thank
we
you.
are good, right? Okay,
Yes.
that's good. So now that we are good with that, now the next thing you are going to now do is you are going to put one more slicer again. You can just do a copy and paste of this. But let's drag it down to this side and leave that one here. So let's just leave that one here. Now once we leave that one here, we'll change this one back to, we'll come to this visual, change this one to drop down. Change this one to drop down. But now we'll come back to the add data to your visual, uncheck this box. Then go and look for products, go and look for product name and check it. So product name and check it. So once you do that, you come to values, you come to background, and you can make it. So I came to this place. I clicked on, have you done this? Click on this, come over to values, you come to background, under values, come to background, and change it to color.
Yes, I've done that.
Okay, so you do Control C again, another one. You come to the top, bring this one to the top, right? And this one is for our dates. So you come and remove product name and put dates. So once you put dates, come to format your visual, click on slicer settings, put it to between. What is between does is that it allows you to, the dates will now be between so date and so date. You can see this slicer the way it's showing. Just now drag it. So once you drag it, you can see the dates. I can easily select my dates. So even from this, I can easily select the date. Okay, the date. I can choose that. Okay, you can see the date. I can choose a date that okay, you only select between two dates. So I just dragged it and I chose the style. The style was between. The way the style is between, I will change the color of the font to white. The color of the font to white. Make it bold and big. Then remove slider. So with this now, I have my date. So if anybody comes and they want to be able to look at this dashboard based on a date, I can easily show them that okay, look at based on a date. So this is the date. They can now say, okay, let us look at from this date, so date to so date. This is how well we did for maybe say November to December. You get so based on a particular date, you can just look at it and so
Can you take
now
the date slicer again, please?
so let me close that. So this you do a copy and paste. This slicer,
Okay.
do a copy and
Yes.
paste. Come and drag it here. Hold on, please. Do a date slicer. This date here. Then you come to date. You remove product name. Choose
Okay.
dates. Once you choose date, come to format your visual. Select vertical and between. Now, once you select between, that between now you can see the way it's showing. Come to this place and drag it so that the date will be able to show properly. Do you understand?
Okay.
Now, once it's showing properly, uncheck this box for slider. Once you uncheck the box, open the values, this place for values, then increase the speed and increase this, leave the size at 10, make it bold, and change the color to white.
Okay.
So now we have our dates. So now, largely speaking, um, architecturally or structurally, our dashboard is well, the sales record dashboard is 80% ready. So now we're just going to put so now with this now we're just going to now begin to put we're now going to begin to put the titles for each one of them. We're just going to begin to put the titles for each one of them. So for each dashboard here, we're going to put titles. Trying to get this thing to show. Give me a moment, please. The one I did before showed. I wonder why this is different. Hold on, please. I'm checking something. Okay, so let's just continue. So let me take out this legend first. Okay, it's the same thing. So now looking at this now, we can see that we already have our. Hold on, let me just check something here. I want to know if this is it's not the same. So now looking at this now, we can see that we have our data. Now we want to begin to give a title to each one of them. Now, when you are giving a title to your dashboard or your chart, it's good to do total revenue by product or total revenue by this or this. But sometimes it's always cool to, when people see a chart, it's good to direct their thoughts towards what you want them to see. Instead of them to begin to say, oh, okay, 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 this is bundle designs. Oh, okay, this is it's good to just direct their thoughts exactly. And that's what we want to begin to do. We want to be able to direct their thoughts. So this is what we want you to see from this data, nothing more, nothing less. And how are we going to do that? We're going to begin to insert text boxes and begin to create our titles with text boxes in a way that it's going to show. Uh, your background is really noisy. Can you just sorry? Thank you. Okay, who's not muted? Okay, Lorade. Okay, okay. So now, can you see my screen clearly?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So we want to begin to put text boxes. Now we're going to just begin to put simple things that will be able to help us give our people that are looking at this dashboard context to what they are seeing without wasting time, immediate context. And how we're going to do it, we're going to say for this one now, for example, what we're going to be putting for this one is very simple. The title for this one is not total sales by month, blah blah. It's simple. Which month performed best in terms of total cost versus total revenue? That means which month performed best in terms of what? Total cost by what? Total revenue. Hold on, please. Okay. Now, the way this one is like that, now we're going to change the format to comic sans. It looks better when you put it. Change the format to comic sans. We're going to make it bold, or maybe not. We're going to make only this part bold. Now, we're now going to change the color. So you see this month, we're going to change the color to this color. Then this one to total cost, total revenue. Because total revenue is the yellow color, we're going to leave it at this. This one is, and we're going to change the others. So which ones perform best in terms of total cost versus total revenue? We're going to put this one to the same color. Leave this one as purple. Or better still, then change all of, okay, let's do it this way. Then change all of these ones to purple and purple. So we change this one to purple. So if you notice what I did, the one that, like for example, this one that is month, which month, the one that is a month, I put it in the other color, but total revenue. So the normal letters, I left them in purple, but the key areas I want them to focus on, month, total cost versus total revenue, I put them in a different color. And the idea behind this is to be able to give people, anywhere they're looking at this thing, we have put the structure. Now we want to now begin to give the dashboard context so that anybody that sees it understands immediately what that particular chart is speaking about. The person is not beginning to wonder, okay, line chart, okay, I can see months here, I can see cost here, okay, it's like, no. Person has an understanding of what to do. So which month performed best in terms of total cost versus total revenue? So you change the first text to what? You change the first one to purple, put the month as the second color. That's I don't know. You can help me out. This should be orange, I guess. Perform best as purple, then go back. So once you do it this way, you can come to effect and remove the background from this particular one so that it looks better, and then bring it down like this. So anybody seeing this now? can instantly see that, okay, what we are trying to look at here is we are trying to look at what the total which month performed best in terms of total. You can easily have an idea of how or what the data set is speaking to, right? So have you done this?
Yes, I have. Okay, so I take out the background, right?
Yes, you take out the background so that it will to.
Okay.
Have you done that?
So I did a mistake. I'm trying to undo it.
Okay.
Okay, I've done that.
Okay, so once you've done that, the next stage will now be, okay, you can now do a copy and paste of this particular one. So you can replicate it in all other places. So this one now is which promotion bundle or which promotion code contributed the most to which promotion code contributed or which promotion code performed best. Simple. Which promotion code performed best? That's just it. So which promotion code? So we're going to put this one as promotion code perform best in terms of what? Revenue. Simple. So which promotion code perform best in terms of revenue? Which promotion code perform best? You have to just do that stuff, yeah. Okay, I just saw Ferrami's response. I just saw Ferrami. So have you done that? Yes.
I'm trying to copy and paste.
Okay, so your battery is about to run out. Okay, we'll soon round off. We'll soon round off. We'll just finish on this one. I don't think we might be able to get into the sales analysis today. I kind of suspected that as well myself. So this, well, what we are just doing is almost like a, is a, because an extensive dashboard. So definitely it will take some time. So let me, but have you done the copy and paste? How many minutes do you think it will last?
It's on 10. Excuse me. It goes off like
10.
yes, it goes off when it's 7.
Wow. So we have, okay, that's fine. And there's no problem. So even if you can't continue, I'll just round off the
Okay.
have a complete dashboard. And
Okay.
hopefully,
Let me
maybe once
quickly
it's
do a screenshot of what I've done and send.
what did you say?
I said, can I do a screenshot of? Oh, there's on it. Okay, there's on it.
When you are done, or what
Yes.
you have now?
What I
Okay,
have
what
now,
you have.
rather. What I have now. Yes.
Oh, very good. You can put it in the group. So I will. So even if you're not complete, I'll just complete it and put the upload then. Because that's almost we started by 3 p.m. So this is almost 3 hours and going. Okay, so you want us to continue, right? Why you drop the chat? Or are you thinking that do you think we just continue? Do you have a phone that you can join with and you can watch and we just consider at least you have an understanding of what we did so far to get to the end? Or what do you think?
Yes, I'll watch with my phone now. Thanks.
Okay. So let me just but you can still I'll still be expecting a screenshot on the group before your laptop goes off. I think that would be a great way to at least we have someone who still follow up to this level. So which promotion code, perform code, and now which age range? We're going to be doing which age range. Okay, let me change this. Which age range perform best in terms of, so this is still in terms of revenue, right? So we'll just simply come over to this point, context what you are doing. So we'll then come over to this point and say which salesperson contributed most in terms of profits, in terms of what profits. Then the final one will now be which region contributed the most to total revenue. Um, co- so which region in terms of what revenue? So now simple questions, but they quickly give you a form of context. Looking at this now, you also have some form of context in your data than what you probably would have had before now. Then the final one will then be contribution of distribution of spending range. Distribution of spending range. So say distribution. Then put spending pattern here. So now with this, we already you can see now that it's dashboard is taking shape already. It's taking shape. Okay, so let's just move this one. So it's taking shape already. We can begin to see that okay, fine. We have a form of ideology of how dashboard looks like. One more thing we can then do is you can see all of these things are still looking very big and bogus. So we're going to reduce the attention on the others and make only the one that is the highest have the best attention. So what you do is you come to columns. When you come to columns, click on apply settings to. Now come to this place and choose this list color, the lightest color for purple. Choose it. When you choose the lightest color for purple, come to the highest, which is 25 to 34, and make it the boldest. What this is, concentrate all your attention on the highest and take off the attention from the others. That's what this also is. Everybody will just focus on the highest and leave out. The same thing we're going to do to this one too as well. You come to this place, you come over to format your visual, you click on columns, you come to categories, you change the color to light, and then you select only the bundle, which is the highest, and make it a key point of focus. It's part of the Gestalt principle of design. And I can't remember the exact law that states it, but the law, in a way, when it comes to that visualization, if you read the book, it says that when you want to give a visualization, ensure you are concentrating, you are the one deciding what you want people to see. That's the summary of that entire law. That you are the one that will decide what you want people to see, and you make it in a way that they will see what you want them to see. They cannot begin to look at other things. So you come to the same place again, you do this, then you come back to favor, who seems to be the highest, and then you make it bold. The same thing as well again here. You come to this place, you choose all of this, then you come over to the highest, which is south, and then you choose this. Now, once you've done this, we can see that our dashboard is already looking pretty prim and proper. All you now need to do is what? You are now going to add your title and the name of this page. So we're going to add our title by simply coming over to you click on this place, you call it buttons. I will stay here. Okay, so click on buttons, right? Click on buttons. Once you click on buttons, you choose blank. You choose blank. Once you choose blank, you come over with that blank, come and drag it here. You drag it to the center. You expand it a bit, and you take it up a bit as well. Now, once you take it up, then all you need to do is so instead of you choosing blank, I think it's better. Okay, you can choose blank, yeah, still fine. You bring it to the middle, then you're going to choose, come to format your visual. You can see style. So when you see style, you come to text. Now, once you come to text, you then put what we call sales analysis. Sales analysis dashboard. This is text. Turn it on. Then change to sales analysis dashboard. We change the color to white. Change the name of the font type to Comic Sans MS. We can increase the size to 20. Then once we increase size to 20, we can remove the borders. And once we remove the borders, I think it looks pretty good. Ensure there's no background. So it looks pretty good. We can see that now we have our sales dashboard. You can begin to put icons to make it fine, but for now, this works for us. So looking at this now, this is our sales records dashboard. One more thing, we'll just come here and put our logo design. Come to image, we'll put our logo. We called it Furnace Foods, the last I checked. We can come and put our logo design at the top left here. So now, you can just put it here. So once we put it at the top right here, you can give the scale and the size to be 88 by 171, 88 by what? 171. So it's filling. So you can then come and put what we call, you create a box here and call it historical record or sales records page. You can call this one sales records page. Create a blank this thing here. You can come and put it here and call it sales. You can come into this place and call it sales records or historical records, or let's call it sales records. Sales records. You can change the font type to Comic Sans. Now, what we are trying to do at this point now is that we are just trying to format the dashboard to look nice. We're just trying to format it. That's what we're just trying to do here. Just format it. So you click on Comic Sans. That's just there. Yeah, click on Comic Sans. We change the color to purple. So once we change the color to purple, we remove the borders. So once we remove the borders, you can see that it's sitting pretty okay. This one now is to help us be able to say, okay, we want to navigate between the two pages. That's just the idea of what we have here. So once we have this, now we can see that the dashboard is already set. At least if I remove, I know this thing is what's making it not look right. Once I remove this now, can we see now it's looking pretty okay? We can see that the promotion code that is performing best is bundle. We can see that the month that performs best in terms of revenue and goods is what is between June and July. We can see that age range 25-34 is the best. Distribution of spending pattern, we can see the one that's performing best. And we can begin to vary it between online and supermarkets. Same way, we can also come over here and choose either of these things. Okay, we can see for nuts, we check this box. We can see for crackers, and we uncheck this box and check this box, and we can see for chips. Is anybody still on the call at the moment? Are we still following? Is anybody still on the call?
Yes, I'm still here.
Oh,
Yes,
great.
I'm
Okay,
here. Sir, please,
that
how are we going to get the template for the design? This template you
is
used
part
to be involved.
it's part of it's part of what I shared.
Okay. Okay, I'll
It's part of
check
what I
for it.
shared. It's part
Okay,
of what I
thank
shared. So once you've gotten to this stage now, you can begin to see that some of our business questions that we mentioned there, we're already answering them. Which month consistently generates sales? Profit margin, we can see our profit margin here already for 10.44%. And if you also do a check like this for nuts only, you can see the profit margin for nuts is 13.3. You can see that for crackers is 10 and chips is what? 8. So nuts seems to be the highest. Even though chips happens to have the highest in terms of products sold, but nuts seems to be the highest in terms of profit margin, right? So we can begin to answer questions from our data, which you can easily do also in this. By the time you begin to do, you can now come up with a report. The second part, which is the interesting part, is the part of the sales analysis. Now, the sales analysis is the part where you are going to begin to say, okay, look, I want to be able to vary my data and say, look, I want to be able to say, this is how my data looks. I want to be able to interact with my data, which is the fun part. So that part, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. Right click on this. I'll put this one here. I'm going to call this one sales analysis. Now, this is a button. One thing that a button does is that when you see a button in a dashboard, what a button does is that you can use a button to do many things. You can use to do page navigation. You can use to do it, but in this case, you have to use a button to navigate. So you notice some dashboards, when you click on the page to move to the next page, you click on something to change. Buttons are used to do that thing. So we want to use this button to move from this page to this page so that the button will take us from one page to the other. All we need to do is come to action, click on, and click the drop down for action. Click on type, come to page navigation, then come to destination, choose sales analysis. Now, once you've done that, it will automatically, so if I now hold this and I click on this like this, it will bring me to the new page. Do you understand? So once you do that, you click on this again. Want to still make it look like, like all these web page kind of formats, as if, just to make it have that feel of interactive feel. Let me use the word, right? We come over to this point. Okay, let me do this. Hold on. We come over to style again. Go to on over, so that anytime they over it, make it bold, right? Then go to this. So for example, if I come over to this place now, you can see when I over it, it looks like, the way you press all those web buttons, it just makes it look like it gives it that feel of like a web page. You get. So once you do that, that will be good for this page. So once you are done with this page, you come over to the sales records page. So what I can do is I'm going to come over to the sales analysis page. I want to begin to create the sales analysis page where we're going to begin to do all those analysis I was telling us about, the what if scenarios and all of the likes. So what we're going to do simply is we're going to import that same background, but the one for sales analysis, we're going to import it. Click on sales analysis, we're going to import it. Once we import it, change this one to 0. So once we change it to 0, we can see the way it looks, almost the same way with the other one. But now I don't want to stress myself to begin to populate this place with everything that I have before. So what I'm just simply going to do is I'm going to come over to this point and I'm going to click on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and do Control C, and come over to this point and do Control V. So you can see it's sitting properly, no stress, no issues. Once I've done this, I'll then say I want to put in my what if parameters at the top. No, before I do what if parameter, let me change this one to have the accurate sales analysis. That means, because this one now, the total revenue is based on the adjusted price and all those things we said earlier. That this one is no more taking the total revenue that has happened in times past. Is this one is now taking a revenue that you are forecasting based on the price you set. That means you set this price and you said that this is the number of products you want to sell. It will now give you the ideal price. So for example, you say I want to make 100 million, or I want to make $100,000 or $800,000 in this quarter. You will now set a price you want to sell. You will now begin to change the price, change the pricing factor, and change. And we're going to do that like demonstration in this class. So that's why this part I might take it a bit fast. So we'll come over, click on what slicer. Okay, so let's come to this place. You see all of these things, they are slicers. So all you can just do is, if you want to create them from scratch, all you need to do is click on the slicer. Once you click on the slicer, come to this top and bring it to the top like this. So once you click on that like this, the slicer settings, I want to get the exact size. So let us give it 64 by 184. Okay, let us still come over to this one. Let's drop it here first. So the first thing we want to put here is the number of products, our product size. So come over to this point here, click on number of products in terms of the value, click on this. So drag this and put it here. Okay, so I don't know why it's not selecting. So I'm just going to do a copy and paste of the one that is here. So I don't have to waste time. Since we already have it here, so rather than stressing. Usually once you've created it, it will just automatically select. So let's just paste it here. Bam. So we can see them. I'm going to check. Let me drag this one down so I can see clearly. So I'm going to click on pricing factor. Once I click on pricing factor, I click on this, come to slicer settings. I first of all adjust the size to be 64 by 184. Once I do that, in fact, this one is too large. So let's say 150. Okay, no, let's do 184. 184. I remove the background. So once I remove the background, I change the values to white so that it will be clear. I make it bold. So once I make it bold, so that by the time I'm using it, I'm putting it in the chat, it will be clear. So all I need to do is I change the header to right, and I click on I make it bold as well. So once you've done it this way like this, then I can now simply bring it to this place. Even though this thing is looking small, so I think I'm going to just increase the size. So I put it here like this. it's sitting properly at this point. Let me change this view. And okay, it's still sitting properly. So I can just move it up a bit. Let it sit properly here. And now simply do the second one too. I can easily click on this, click on Format Painter so that this one will take all of the properties of this. And now simply bring it here as well. Okay, this one is not changing, but this one has changed. Okay, so let's come to slicer headers. Let's leave this one at 9 as well. But let's take this one to 12. Right? So this one is 12. We'll put the slicing. This is for the sales circle. We'll put this one here. Then the last one will then be for the number of products. I can easily click on this. I do Format Painter so that it will change this one to the size, and I bring it here. So you can see the third one. So I want to make all of them be on the same line. Let me just click on this, this, and this. Then I'll do format. And I click on align. And I distribute horizontally. And I also align to bottom. Okay, no, this is not right. So let me make them sit together. Okay, so number of products, number of months, number of products, number of months, and still not looking okay. So once we have this sorted and this is clear, so I'm just going to put one or two more things to make it, to make it balanced. So I'm going to change all of these ones now. This one is total revenue, but I'm going to make it pick from the sales analysis. So I will do total revenue. I'm going to cancel this and change this one to total revenue for analysis. So you can see it's showing blank. Now it's showing blank because there's something that we've not done. So most likely sales cycle value, just hold on. Number of products. So there's nothing on number of products. Hold on, I'm trying to confirm something, please. Okay, I don't know why this thing is changing back to can't really tell why this is changing back to 0. Number of products, number of products, number of products, number of products, number of products. Okay, let's just continue. I'll come back and check this exactly why this came back to 0. But let's just continue. So this is for total cost. I'm going to remove total cost from here and then choose the total cost sales analysis. Okay, so total costs. So the same thing is from total cost. Once I fix the number of products, I'll then fix this one. But let me just change all of them. Total profit most likely is going to be doing the same thing as well. Okay. Then total efficiency, sales efficiency, would choose sales efficiency analysis, the one that is here. And then we're going to choose the profit margin. And then we're going to choose, so this is going to be speaking to the total quantity of, total number of products sold. So just give me a minute, let me check this. Maybe I'll need to, but it was working here, right? They were all working at this point. Let me do this one. So this is one. Okay, maybe I should create it again. So I'm wondering why this is happening. Just give me a minute, please. Let me check. Okay. Okay, let me create it again. Let me create the what if parameter again. So I come back to modeling, numerical range, number of products, and O number, maximum should be 20,000, increments, minimum is 0, increase, incremented by 1, then add slicer, then I can put 2 here. Okay. Okay. So I'm actually wondering why it's not picking, but nevertheless, let me just come over to this point. Number of products. So let me come back here and just put this one back. So that it's going to show now. So number of products. So let's come and check this now. It should work now. Okay, it's working now. I wonder why it's not working with it's supposed to work with normally, but once you put in the value, it's supposed to work. But I don't know why it's just misbehaving. But let me just do a copy here so that let me just come back here and fix this then. Okay, let's come back to cost analysis. Okay, so it has adjusted everything. So let me change this one back to dollars. Let me just quickly adjust it back to dollars. This profit is in dollars. This cost sales is in dollars. So did we see what I did? Do you understand what happened? Or did you see what happened? There was an issue with the hello. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Okay. Okay, you can hear. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Fermi. That's interesting. Okay, so number of products. I guess I wonder why it's actually not allowing me to impute values. I've not seen this before actually. But maybe I'll do that research by the time I'm done and wonder why, because I know that normally it should allow me to impute values I want to impute for anything. So I don't know why, but at least it's good enough that the option to slide is working. So I'm just going to do this. I will scroll over to this point. I would say, so let me do this. Let me do this. So because this one is wider, I think I'm just going to make this one come like this and bring this one here. Okay, so it's not exactly looking as I would have loved it to look, but maybe I can reduce the size of the slicer header. Let me see if I can reduce the size of the slider. Okay, I can't do anything to the slider. So I just have to leave it like that. It's not exactly looking the way I want it to look though, but I guess I have. Okay, let me just put it here then. Let me put it here. At least if it's here, it looks better. Let me put it here. Let me put it here and change the values. Make it bold and change it to purple. Okay, it's better to be here. So at least if it's here, we can see it clearly. But if it's up there, it makes no sense. Okay, so I'm going to do this. So this is good. So we're going to have it here. Yeah. So once we have it here like this, then the only other thing we're going to do just like two more things. Let me just quickly adjust this ones. So total costs. I call this one total cost. I call this one for the total profits analysis. I call this one profitability index. That's the sales efficiency analysis. I call this one the profit margin. And I call this one the quantity of goods sold. Let's use the word number of product value, right? So what I'm able to do here is now that, let me just change this one. So once I'm done with this now, I can see the analysis. Then I'm just going to put in a card visual here. Okay, let me change it, sorry. I'm going to put in a card visual here. So the card visual is going to be for me to be able to say, okay, I can see my adjusted price. I adjust the price and I can see that adjusted price. So what will I do? So before now, I've created what we call an adjusted price, and I was supposed to have created an adjusted price. So I'm going to put that adjusted price right under data. I'm going to put that adjusted price right under data. So I'm going to come here and put the adjusted price where's adjusted price? This is adjusted price. I'm going to put it under data. So during the period of creation, I think we also have created a column called a measure for card value. So hold on, let me change this one and make it that okay. So this is adjusted price. So I also have created a column for a measure for card value. So that measure is expected to, but before I do that, I'm going to create I'm going to copy and paste this here. So what we have here, that's this product name. I'm going to copy it. Oh, I'm going to copy this product name and I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to copy the product name that we have here and I'm going to paste it here. So now I've copied it and I've pasted it here. I can move this one down a bit. I've copied it and I've pasted it here. Now, the idea of pasting it here is so that I can easily select an adjusted price. So I can come over here and say, I want to select nuts. The price is, original price is 1.5 when it's on the normal pricing factor. But if I want to adjust the price by 200%, it is now 3,000, right? Or 3K in this regard. We can adjust this one to pick, we can change this adjusted price to pick the format and make it to, so I just pick the format. So it means that if I change the pricing factor to 200%, it changes one to what? 3,000, right? Now, that's just to give us a guideline of how things work here. Now, once I do that, I can then come over here and just do some one or two visuals. That's, I'm just going to put a gauge chart. I'm just going to put a gauge chart. I'm just going to extend 3 gauge charts. That's what I'm just going to put. And that will be majorly all for the dashboard design. I'm going to put 3 gauge charts. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put one here. So the idea of this gauge chart is just to help us be able to look at how well we are performing across board. So I'm just going to put, for the gauge chart, I'm just going to come over and say for my value is just going to simply be my total revenue. So I'm going to change this one to, the previous color. Let's use this color. Let's use this color for the fill color. Then for this one, I'm going to make this one for the profits. I'm going to just put this one for profits. Where's profits? Profits. So I can do format painter. Then I'm going to do this final one for my total quantity. No, not total quantity sold this time. I'm going to just put my total sales. That's in terms of the number of products sold. The number of products sold. The number of products sold, and I can do this. Now, what now happens is at the end of the day, I can just come over here and just quickly put one or two. This, put my final food, put this. Let me copy them together. And this one. Let me copy them together so that once I come here, I paste. Yeah, sync. So I can also copy this as well. I'm going to copy this. and come and put it here and paste it. So it is directly under sales. And this one, I change this one to sales analysis. So once I change to sales analysis, I come to general, I come to buttons, and I come and change this one to, okay, it's sales analysis. I come to style, I go back to default and I change it also towards sales analysis, because before the previous function was on over. So on over will have a different name. So I change the sales analysis. And this one is sales records. I simply come to action and I make the action so it will revert me back to the other page. Now, once I'm done doing all this, largely I can say I'm done with my dashboard on this end. Now, what you now have here is now you have your pricing factor, you have your sales circle, and you have your number of products sold. So what now happens is that if, for example, I want to make someone says I want to make 20 million for my revenue in the month, I want to make 20 million on only chips. I uncheck this box, I come to chips. I adjust my price to say, I can adjust my price to 3. That's 300%. I say I want to make 20 million from only chips, right? Let's assume everything is on 0. This is on 1, right? Everything is on, say this, everything is on 1. This is the normal price on a normal day. So this is a normal price on a normal day. Now, I now say I want to make a total sales of 20 million on only chips. I then come ahead and say, okay, let me make my pricing factor to be 200%. That means I want to adjust my price to be, this is the normal price for chips, 2,300. I want to adjust it to be 200% of the normal price. That is, it should be much more. That means 100% and additional 100%. That's 2,300 plus 2,300 should be, I want to set it as 4,600. And I come here, I put 2. You can see it has changed to 4,600. But now you can see this is 3.49 million. Now I want to be able to say that I have varied my product. I want to now ask myself, how many chips will I 4,600 to be able to make $20 million? I'll then begin to slide. I'll slide. I'm still at 13. I've just sold 2,800, but I'm not even up to what? I'm not up to 20 million. I will slide it again. Now I'm at 28, right? At 6,224. So I can slide back. So once I've slided back, I can see that, okay, so at 4,555 products with an adjusted price of 4,600, which is a pricing factor of 200%, and maybe one in a sales cycle, which is 1 month, I can make 20 million. I would only spend 9.57 million. I'm going to make a profit of 11.4 million. My revenue to cost ratio will be 219%. My profit margin will be 54%. And then I would have sold 4,555 products. So my target will be how to sell 4,555 products at this price so that I can make that money. So that's just it. And I can do the same thing for nuts and begin to vary my price, vary my cost, and I'll then begin to make my money. So basically that's just like a total rundown of the entire dashboarding for sales analysis dashboard. So at this point, I'll just say for everybody who managed to survive to the end of this this intensive, well, nobody said dashboarding was easy. The first time I built something like this, similar project like this, I spent almost 2 to 3 weeks of concentrated, or almost a week of concentratedly working on it almost like day and night, and also at some points to, so I totally understand if it's kind of heavily demanding for some, but it's fine. That's one of the beauties of building and working. So do we have any questions from anyone? Do you have any questions from anyone? I sincerely hope we are still recording. I hope we are still recording, because I know I've not been seeing recording in a while. I hope that all this has not gone to, okay, it's still recording. Okay, thank you, Farami, for your feedback, and thank you for staying till the end as well. Okay, so I think if there's no question, it's still recording. Okay, so if there's no question, I think so that would be all. So basically, if you want to publish this on your, but there's just a final part which I didn't mention. Probably you can just put in the final thing you can just do is you can just put in your final. A lot of people do it, some who don't. You can just put in a final title page so that it will give it some form. I made the title page from Canva, but it kind of gives the dashboard some bit of nice feel. So that's why I just brought it in. So you can just put in a title page so that everybody will say, oh yeah, I have a functioning dashboard. Okay, so I brought in my title page. Come to Canva background, click on this, go to black and pink geometric. I made it on Canva actually. Then you can see it looks something nice. Then you can just bring a button, come and put the button here, and then you come and put the button at this point. Start here. So you put the button here, ensure it fills everywhere around here. So once it fills everywhere around here, then all you need to do is remove everything that has to do with formatting on the button, all the styles, remove it, all the borders, so that the button will not, it won't be clear to anybody that is a button. Remove the borders. So once you're done removing the borders, come to action, choose an action. The action should be that it should go to page navigation, and you should go to the first page, which is sales records. This one too, also let us put another button here so that in case some people want to click on this one as well, it will take them to sales records. So that if you just come and click on this, it will take them to sales records, and then they can then go ahead and click on sales analysis, and then go back and click on, okay, this one is not working. Choose sales records. Go back and click on sales records. So that will be all for the dashboarding of today. Thank you all for joining. I think there's just one final part, which is to publish it to the Power BI service. A lot of people might not really have this, so people can use Novi Pro and other platforms, but I have a Power BI service, so you can just publish it to Power BI service. And it is from the Power BI service that granted me the ability to be able to view it from a dashboard. That's from a website. I just did this. I went over to my own Power BI platform. I have a Power BI service account, so I went over to my workspaces. I came over to portfolio project where I have kept it. So you can see portfolio project. I have quite a number of dashboards I've done in times past. So I just did a refreshed. So it will pick the one I've done last, which is this report. I click on it. Once I click on it, I come over to file. I look at embed report. I click on publish to web public. Although you will need a fabric capacity for you to be able to do this. So once it's published and I click on this, I can then view my dashboard real time, and I can also share the dashboard online for everyone to view. So with this, you click on next, and voila. So you can then begin to do your analysis. So thank you all for joining. Thank you so much. I think it's been a very wonderful session. So hopefully I hope to do this next month and the months going forward. The Lord strengthens us. Please, if you're not subscribed, do well to subscribe. And thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for staying up to the end. It's very well appreciated. So at this point, we'll say bye-bye. There's another part of getting insights and recommendations, but we'll just stop here today. Thank you and have a wonderful time. Bye bye, everyone.
Thank you, sir. We're grateful. Thank you.
Oh, you're still here. That's great. I thought I was
Ah,
talking to myself.
no, we're here, sir. Thank you, sir.
That's fine. So please, and do well to subscribe as well. Have you subscribed? Okay, wait, let me check. I need to stop recording this. How do I stop recording? Okay. Thank you to sirs. Thank you, everyone. I think the greatest investment is time. So for you to invest your time to this, it's duly appreciated. And do not take it for granted. So I think when I end this meeting, that's when the recording will stop. Okay, bye everyone. Have a wonderful time. So on the group chat, we'll keep on sending messages, and I'll most likely post the link of this to the group chat, and then you can take it off from there. Bye.